Welcome to the Roots and Routes podcast, where community and socioeconomics is the route to our success. I always wish our hometown heroes had the technology during their time to document their journeys, so we'll do it for the rest of them. And we are live on location at the legendary 14th Street Community Center.
Miss Berkeley. All right.
We're not live? It's not on there? Let me see what we got going on.
I'm on the Roots and Ross podcast.
Let me see what's going on.
That's what I need to go. I'm going on Gerald Gordon.
Let me see.
Miss Berkeley.
No, we live. Where you at, Joe?
Why ain't that on, bro?
It's not working. Scroll down.
Oh, man, y'all get this together.
Well, it's live right here, bro.
How you share it, bro?
That's right. I don't know why it's not coming up on yours. Refresh it. I'm gonna share it right now. Hit the share button right there.
Where? Okay, I got you.
Right there. Yep.
That right there showed everybody talking and everything, man.
Well, I ain't got all that, man. I got the one man army over here. We gonna start it over. We gonna ring it right back.
Ring right there.
Welcome to the Roots and Routes podcast, where community and socioeconomics is the route to our success. You know, I always wish our hometown heroes had the technology during their time to document their journeys, so we'll do it for the rest of them. And we're live on location at the legendary 14th Street Community Center. Put them together.
Man, Miss Berkeley. Hey, I thought it was 2025. It sure felt like 1984.
Miss Berkeley.
Ain't no air in here.
Hey, I can't. Hey, somebody pay the AC bill. So here, hey,
Miss Melvin.
At this particular junction, I like to call this is the season finale. Season 1. We've done 21 of these episodes. This is episode 22.
Big. Yeah.
So we appreciate everybody that's followed us. In the meantime, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the share button if you haven't already done it. I'm hitting the share button here.
I think I already shared it.
That's theirs. Now you good. Follow us on all the digital platforms, and we'll continue to put out amazing content.
Hit that right back.
You're killing me. There it is.
It was live.
It's right there.
Oh, okay.
You see it. You see it. So at the table, I got two special guests with me. But before we get started, we got a production crew in the room. We got Mr. Joe Green working the camera.
Yes, sir.
Put them together for Mr. Joe Green.
All right, Mr. Green.
Yes, sir. Now to the left of me, he's a man of many hats. Many people know this man. He's a special friend of mine, Mr. Daniel Marcellus Reed.
Yes, sir.
Man, you need to get you a towel, cuz. Wipe your face off, man.
It's cooking in here, bro. It's sweat in the winter.
To the right of me, Mr. Sir Michael Parker.
All right.
Put them together.
All right. Now that I think about it, you should have did this in the winter, bro. Y'all forgot the air in here.
If I could change,
you sweat in the winter. Nah, I need a little air on me.
You So hey, let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. I want to talk about the man that you've become today, the man, the myth, the legend. But the very first question I typically ask everybody that comes on to the Roots and Routes podcast is, what advice would you give if you had your 12-year-old self in front of you right now? What advice would you give your 12-year-old self? But instead, we're going to move a little further down the line and ask it of your 18-year-old self. If you had 18-year-old Michael Parker, freshly graduated out of high school, in front of you right now, what advice, with the experience of life, would you give to your 18-year-old self?
Well, 18, I was a freshman up at BG, man. Getting my feet wet, get ready for the D1 college level. So, the advice I would give myself, man, is don't forget the goal. Stay on path. Remember everything that everybody told you, man, and just stay on your craft. Stay on your craft, man, and continue to do what got you there. And that was hard work, and that's one big thing. And not only that, get your schoolwork, get your academics. You gotta he got a blessing in getting a free ride and take advantage of that. You know, so those are some of the things that I would have told my 18-year-old self.
Hey, that is solid, sound advice from a solid, sound mind.
Yes, it is.
Bible says God hasn't given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. I appreciate those words of wisdom, nuggets, knowledge. I think that'll go a long way for the young people and just in life in general. You know, work the craft and get your education, learn all you can learn, get all you can get. That's great. So, Mike, as always, we like to peel back the layers to everybody that comes to the table. You in the hot seat, literally and figuratively. So, what I'm going to do now is kind of build a storyline to how you got to where you are today. So, how we're going to start this off is I'm going to give a little bit of foreshadow to what we're going to close this episode with. The name of this episode is called September the 29th. Make a mental note of that. September the 29th is a very key moment.
Wow, that's when you're gonna send it out. What that mean?
We'll get to it. We're gonna find out the why of September the 29th. That's a great question.
All right.
So stay tuned and you'll find out more. So before we get started, Cayenne commented. She said, for season 2. We got to have some hot wings and some drinks for the guests. I think you would agree with that. You wouldn't mind having some wings right now.
And bring your wife to get the grease off.
I don't agree with that. Not in this room. It's already hot.
Well, sponsors that's out there, if you've been watching us for the totality of it all, we could definitely look to collaborate. I'll say we're going to collaborate with some people. So we appreciate everybody that's been following us thus far. But what I want to talk about now, Michael, is your upbringing. So kind of growing up in the North End, and you can speak to this however whichever one you want to address first. Yeah. Mom, dad, or just life in general, how you was raised. We're going to touch on both. So you can start with mom first, North End first, or pops. So,
well, I mean, you know, we all got mom, dad, whatever, but I just want to keep it general with growing up in the North End.
Right.
Because it was a community, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't my mom, it just wasn't my dad, it was a community, you know. But the thing is, with my mom, she was, I ain't gonna say strict, you know what I'm saying? It's just like she raised me to respect elders, you know, and stay in the kids' place.
That's right.
And then and when I got out of line, you know, she bought the old trusty rusty out or go pick that switch. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, she wasn't strict, man. At the time, I thought she was, but you know, she was just fair, firm, and consistent.
Right.
My dad, you know, my dad wasn't really in my life growing up. Mm-hmm. If I did have to call somebody dad, it would have been Lloyd Wood. I think, you know, just with my sports career and where I went playing sports, he's a big part of it. Because just growing up as a kid, that's all I seen on TV. You know, that's why I like
the Minnesota Vikings.
That's why I like the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, man.
And because that's all I seen.
Right.
That's all I seen, you know. And he was a big part of it, man. And just growing up in the North End period, you know, with my mom's friends and just people in the community, man, it was a beautiful time, you know, because we all knew each other, man. And it wasn't like once I left the house, like I was out freely to roam around and get into mischief on my own. No, because I still got moms and dads watching over me through my mom's friends.
Right.
And if I acted up, you know, they had permission to warm me up and take me home. But if they did warm me up and take me home, I got another one when I got home. So, you know, it was a community, man, that raised me, man. And it was just a beautiful thing, man. It's just unfortunate that a lot of kids growing up today don't get to experience, you know, what I experienced as a kid in the North End community.
That's right. Right. Reed, I know you can attest to how tight-knit the community was, man. We talked about it on your episode. So, I mean, it's clearly left a lasting impression on every one of us in this room, those that have been reared in the way we was reared.
Everybody
I mean,
whooped me.
we always had some. We always had somebody.
double whooping.
Yeah.
Then and later.
Yeah.
Then and later. Got you. So we'll talk a little bit more about your upbringing in terms of like your personal relationships with friends and family, of course, but also the Bears was a very integral part of how you perceive sports.
Well, before I even got to the Bears, the friends had a big part of that too, because that's all we did in the neighborhood. Because every time you go out, it was just so many people out, man, and they was on the basketball court, or you had was a softball team, the ladies, bro, the Swig,
Swig Labs,
they playing softball.
North End something.
It was always something, man, and we always followed them. And as kids, man, we wanted to imitate that. So any sport, whatever sport was in session, like in season, that's what we played. Only thing we didn't play is tennis. They had the tennis court out there, but we didn't play tennis.
I didn't do that.
We made a kickball field out of the tennis court, But whether it was baseball, we out there playing baseball in the park. Whether it's basketball, we had to wait for the adults to get off the court so we can play. If we was playing before they came, and we ain't get off the court, they kicked our ball in the woods. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whether it was football, that's what we played. We even had boxing in front of Booby's crib.
Yeah.
Because how it looked now, how I got the sidewalk up the middle. It wasn't like that back then. There was a lot of grass right there.
Right.
Then it had some posts around the grass. So Boo made a little ring. We had boxing matches. So it was a fun time, man.
Y'all had gloves?
Yeah. Yeah, we had gloves.
Who brought the gloves?
I don't know who it was. Somebody had gloves, whether it was Boob or somebody. We used each other's gloves. Everybody wanted to fight, rest in peace, Carlton Cade. That's my homeboy, man. Thias. Harold gave him that nickname. Everybody wanted to fight him because his nose bled easy. So, everybody couldn't wait to fight him, like they was doing something. But the thing is, man, just growing up, man, around that time was one of the highlights of my life, man, because it's just how the community was and how the community still is, man. And that respect that I was raised to, grow up and respect my elders, that's something that I keep to this day.
Right.
My mom always told me to be good to everybody you meet because you never know when you might need them again.
Right.
And that's just how I live my life by things, that I do now. And just growing up with the time and being with the friends I did, we was very resourceful, man.
Right.
There was one year with the Bears, like we didn't have I didn't play my 5th grade year because we all some unfortunate things happened and we quit. Some of us went to the Rough Riders, some of us went to the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
That was a breakup year?
Yeah,
pause that. So 5th grade year.
What?
So
before I get there, we can start on the Bears too.
Okay, we'll get there.
So with the Bears, I played when I was in the 1st grade.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Torrance Jordan.
Was that normal? Like Reed, you played for the Bears, right?
Yeah.
So what's the earliest age that you played?
Kindergarten.
and the reason that I got to play because
just saying I was there.
Rest in peace, Archie Clark. You know what I'm saying? Bales.
Yes, sir.
He was our neighbor.
Okay.
He was our neighbor, and he was one of the coaches.
Big time.
So they always see us out there, playing football and doing whatever, man. And he took me to practice. And next thing you know, I had some pads in the 1st grade. So I played tackle football in the 1st grade, bro. And I was playing with the 5th and 6th graders, starting tailback in the 4th.
That's crazy.
In the 4th grade, man, starting tailback. So, and a big part of that, man, why I was able to do that because of the things we did in the neighborhood as kids. Like, we playing, like they call it back in the days, free frog or just
Raggy tacky.
Or just pickup football, bro. We playing tackle.
Yeah, the Nelsons.
Tackle. You get tackled on the concrete, you get tackled on the concrete. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, that's where a lot of my toughness came from, man. Was just playing football without pads. And then once I got pads on, it wasn't as bad.
Right. So shout out to Terry Lewis. Terry Lewis would have loved to have been here. So I want you to speak a little bit to your
Mills play
relationship
football?
with Mills.
Oh, that's my cousin, man, and we've been inseparable. You know, everything I've done, he was a part of, man. Everything he done, you know, I was a part of it.
Gang banging.
Yeah,
gang
that was back when we was doing things we weren't supposed to do. But you know, at the end of the day, man, we grew up together, man, and we was always together. Even when I went to BG, bro, he was there. You know, so you know, he can probably remember a lot of more stuff than I do, because you know I'm getting old.
Right.
I'm getting old. But
Good question.
So
I want to know.
We'll get there. I know exactly. I didn't know
that he was part of the bus.
Yeah,
so
I like to know how that worked out.
So it come full circle, man. It's funny to me, and we'll definitely get to that. I promise you, we will. It's well, I wonder what does it feel like for you now, as a 50? How old are you now?
50.
As a 50-year-old man, to see the kids almost exactly in the same position you were in as a first grader or a second grader. You know, some of these kids that's coming into their first experience of football. Some of them might start later, 5th grade or 6th grade or whatever, first time ever playing. But when you see kids that's come through Pee Wee, now obviously it's a different era, but I'm just saying for them to get their first taste of sports at a young age.
And I mean, that's what it is. Like, kids just got to develop on their own. You got some kids that come in and can take off right now, you know, ready to tackle, ready to learn plays or whatever. But then you got some kids that it'll take a little while. First of all, getting used to the contact. You know, I don't know as far as me that I was ever that way, but I did see my brothers that way. JoJo and Bradley was like that. When they first started, they didn't want to tackle. They would race the man who got the ball to the end zone, or if somebody tackled them, they'll pile on, you know, and just scared of the contact, man. So the thing is, like, what you asking, like the difference?
Yeah, I mean, I think both the difference and the similarities, really, because obviously the difference is the way a lot of these kids is raised. But
even that, kids ain't getting out there playing.
Right.
Kids don't play no more.
They don't.
Yeah, ain't none of that.
It's different.
The season, you know, no, ain't none of that. And I don't see it nowhere.
No.
I seen a few kids playing out
at hardly any age.
Yeah, I've seen a few kids playing out here before the season, man. I like to pass out.
But they ain't playing tackle. The difference is, you know, back in those old school days, we played tackle with no pads.
Right.
So when we put pads on, it wasn't a shock, or we wasn't nervous or scared. You know what I'm saying? Because we did this without the pads.
Yeah, I played against Nelson.
So with the Bears, what was y'all's legacy? Like, was y'all winners as well? I mean, I know historically the Bears have always won.
Well, I really don't remember my when I was playing first, second, third grade. But my 4th grade year, you know, we won. We went to the Super Bowl, but you know, we lost to Green.
Right.
We lost 14-0 in Green, and it was like a monsoon, raining, and ain't none of us have cleats. I think I had on some Pro Kid Turks. You know what I'm saying? And we playing after the Trojans, so the field was a mess.
Yeah.
And we just out there sliding around, and it was, we was happy to be there, but it wasn't that fun. You know,
we out there. Played after I was in the state. Did you play after that game when you played Philo?
It might have been after that game.
That is after that
field
game.
was tore up.
Wow.
And ain't none of us had cleats. Maybe Birdie had some cleats. I don't know.
So let's talk a little bit. We'll move on about some of your Bear teammates, like the older ones, and then the ones that came up with you. Like you say you barely remember the early part. So let's stick with 4th grade. Okay.
I do remember. I remember in the 3rd grade. You know what I'm saying? Just how I was and the player I became, and you know the toughness and the physicalness that I tried to play with. I can give that to playing out in the park with no pads. And if I would have to take a specific person that got me to that point, was Festus.
Okay.
Leslie Wood, bro. We used to have this drill, Bull in the Ring. And
so
I'm in the 3rd grade, bro.
So for those that don't know, what does that mean?
That means, you know, you got the circle, and then you're the person in the middle, and they just call on people to come and hit you.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the 3rd grade. And I remember hitting Fest, and that's the first time that you can say I got my bell rung or whatever.
Right.
You know, the whole side of my body went numb. I seen lights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, oh, you can do that? At first, it's like, oh, I ain't going against him no more.
Right.
But, you know, after a while, man, just going practice day after day after day after day, like, and listening to Lloyd, like, you can't let people know you scared of them in the football field. So, you know, I just went on and gave him all I got. Yeah, I got dominated, but at the end of the day, it just molded me to continue to play that way. You know, and then the fourth grade came, it was just a, you know, a whole different story. He was already gone and moved on to junior high, but
Right.
you know, now he started to basically mold a monster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That was the beginning. Frankenstein's monster is here now.
Yeah.
So now we go get to the breakup read. So 5th grade year, y'all are coming to practices at the train station. Coaches is whatever.
We started practicing.
Okay.
We coming off the Super Bowl year, we lost to Green. 5th grade year, man, I think it was me, Mills, Brandon Green, Harold White, I want to say Ty, Michael Dickerson.
Right.
I mean, we had a pretty nice Underwood, Barry, and there's more. I just can't think of everything.
No, you good.
You know, so we coming in, bro. So we supposed to have a preview or a scrimmage or something. We already been practicing. So we get to the game day or whatever, and we're like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't hearing nothing about going to the game or whatever. And we go up to Mr. Adams' house. That's when they live right on Waller or whatever.
Right.
And I think they ended up going to a preseason Rams or Eagles game or something, and just forgot about our game. And fellas was salty.
Who's your coach?
Ty Adams. Fellas was salty, bro. And that's just what I remember. You know, Mills or somebody else may remember more. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, at the end of the day, it was it is what it is, you know. And then that's when the Bears broke up. Some of us, we just wanted to play football so bad that some of us went to the Rough Riders, and some of us went to the Rams.
So let me give a little bit more context to that.
I went to the Rams.
He went to the Rams. So I think originally y'all had thought y'all was going to all go to the same team. Is that true to the story?
No, that ain't true to the story. Some of us went to either team, right? But the majority of the best players went to the Rams.
Got you.
And then we played one game, and then they said that the Rams were so good that they didn't let us play. Right. They didn't let us play, so we had to sit out that whole year.
So it was a pretense, and we'll get to the other part of the story. It was an assumption that y'all was going to be able to stick together pretty much on another team, and it just didn't work out. Now, when I talked to Terry about it, he hurt to this day about the breakup, because essentially that was the end of the Bears. Y'all was the last team, last team that had that. And hindsight, obviously, 2020. And it's not the fault of the kids. It's not the fault of really anybody in particular. It is what it is. But Mills is calling right now. Let him chime in real quick.
And Mills may say some other things that he remember too.
Oh, hold on. Let Mills talk real quick. You gotta speak real loud so they can hopefully hear you.
Okay, he's wrong about the story. We did play that year. We played that year.
Nah, bro, not our 5th grade year with the Rams. I couldn't play.
So remember, the year that happened, what happened was that we all went to the Rams and we was playing there, but then we were so good that they went back and had a meeting and they divided us by district, because where we lived at, because me, Jeff Williams, and White Dog, we had to play at the Rough Riders.
Bro, they ain't let me play. I don't remember playing. I played one game with the Rams, bro, that year, and it was over with. Because if you remember correctly, that's when we had our own football game out in the park.
Yeah, I remember. But yeah, we had to play for the Rough Riders. They wouldn't let us play for the Rams.
So let's talk about that.
I didn't go to the Rough Riders.
Okay, you did.
No,
that's where you were supposed to go.
I didn't.
No, he could have stayed with the Rams. They made us go to the Rough Riders because they said where I lived at the time. I lived on 25th Street. So they made me play for Rough Riders because the Rough Riders coach lived like right down the street from me. Right. And he was like, "Oh, you ain't playing for the Rams," so I had to play for the Rough Riders.
So in that, what ended up happening, it was pretty much just a lost season.
Yeah, they ain't let us play at all. For the
So Michael, you demonstrated leadership qualities even back then. Tell the audience, tell Reed what happened that you ended up organizing a hood game.
I mean, it just wasn't me, man. It was just everybody in the neighborhood that wanted to play football. You know, so we got all the kids in the neighborhood, bro. I don't even know how many it was, but it was enough to fill 2 teams. And we had a draft. You know what I'm saying? And we set this specific date to have this big football game. And it was bigger than what we thought it was going to be. We had fans out there. We had cheerleaders. The thing is how resourceful we was, bro. Like, as kids, man, everybody got a bag of flour out of the crib and we lined the field up.
A bag of flour lining it up.
We lined the field up, man, and we had a football game. running through hoops and everything. Didn't they make a little paper thing to bust through 2 cheerleaders?
Yep.
Bruh, fans, bro, everything.
That's nice.
You know, and that's just us being resourceful, man, and trying to, you know, keep the thing alive on what do we want to do since it was football season and we wasn't playing. So
right.
That's an unforgettable moment. I'm glad you brought that up, bro. That's all right.
And I got one more story, man. Then I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta tell the story. So we maybe 3rd, 4th grade.
Speak real loud.
And, okay, this is 3rd or 4th grade, and this was my first time playing any organized basketball. So we hit the Y, and they had already had to draft the teams, and the first game I had to play against Woo. And they lowered the rims. The rims was like 8 feet at the time. So we warming up on one end, they down the other end, and I look down there. He down there doing 360s, windmill dogs.
Are you exaggerating, right?
Yeah, I'm exaggerating, but it seemed like Book was like 6'8" back then. He been broke over the years, but like he was the most dominant physical specimen of our age group.
Right.
And you could see it early, you know, and we all knew, you know what I mean, way back when from the beginning, like, you know what I mean, he was gonna be that one.
And the thing is, that's another shout out to Lloyd Wood on that, bro,
Mm-hmm.
because of so much sports I watched. I watched it on TV and I went out and tried it.
Right.
Everything from baseball, football, basketball.
All right, Mills. We'll chop it up another time, man. I appreciate you being able to get in. So we'll chop it up another time.
Yes, indeed.
All right, love you, bro.
We spray painted a box on the thing.
Throwing pitches.
So look, we're here at the Roots and Routes podcast. Like, share, subscribe, follow us on all the digital platforms. We'll continue to put out amazing content. So, you know, you made a way. You was always making a way, even back then. Like you said, resourcefulness is big. So let's talk a little bit more about the YBL and Bantam League or anything you remember about hoops.
Mm-hmm. You know, Bantam League, man, that was a fun time too. But growing up, Daryl and Googie was my neighbors too, and they was nice. So you know, I tried to imitate them, and Goog always played. I forgot who Lice played for, but Goog played for the Magic, and they had the sweetest uniforms. But I was always the young one hanging around with them, you know.
Right.
But I ended up playing for Skateland, man, and you know, just
shout out to Skateland.
Yeah, we had green and white jerseys, bro. But I had my sister probably say something about this, bro. That's when the Jordans came out,
right?
Jordan 1s, and I thought my mom was gonna get me some, bro, but she came back with the I don't know what they was called. They looked like Jordans.
Jocks.
They looked like Jordans, but the sign came up, bro, like the Nike sign, but they split in half, like, bro. Yeah. That's what I was sporting until Mr. Hall, man.
Jordan.
Rest in peace to Mr. Hall, man. He really looked out for me, you know, growing up, man. And you know, I owe that man a lot, man, and because he really looked out for me. He bought me some ponies, City Wings.
Who?
Mr. Hall.
Who is that?
If you don't know who he is, I can't tell you.
Yeah,
who he
right.
is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Google was alive, he'll tell you who he is because he really looked out for us, man. You know where that You know where People's Bank is?
Yes.
Where you was at that one time, that old folks home now,
Yeah.
right across from people. That used to be a hospital back in the days, and he used to run that.
Oh,
He
okay.
was over that hospital back in the days, but you know that was and that man did a lot for me.
That's
He
cool.
got me out of the buddies.
Cayenne said Stadius
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Williamson, West Virginia.
I thought I was sweet, bro. until I couldn't have I ain't had no more
You
traction
slipping
on
and
the
sliding,
court.
slipping
bro.
and sliding.
Couldn't wait to travel with them.
So, Reed, I'm going to let you chime in here in a little bit, but I want to continue on the route that we're on, the path we're on. So now we're at the junior high age. My memory of it, y'all was down at Grant Gym, and I don't know if it was a league tournament or what type of tournament it was. Y'all was killing it. You was Michael Jordan on the basketball court. Like, you was cold. So I remember like Peter George and different
Peter
ones
George
played
was
with
there.
y'all.
Jared Leonard.
Jared.
Dre went to Grant. Dre went to Grant, man. And outside of Pete and Leonard, man,
Right.
I don't remember who else played with us. But you know, basically, man, we just did what we love to do.
Mm-hmm.
Did what we did every day. You know, we just got the opportunity to do it in between the lines. So, you know, it wasn't like we was just dominant, man. We was out there just playing the game and love. And you know, the great thing is we played it well. So, you know, shout out to my higher power for giving me those abilities to do, you know, what I was able to do when I did do it. So,
when you did
sense.
it, I got you. So, junior high football. So you. So remind me, 6th grade. What happened in 6th grade?
Well, 6th grade, man, I ended up going to play with the Rams.
Okay.
You know, I like the little burgers and all that. You know, so I was overweight.
Yeah, me too.
And I couldn't play tailback, so I played guard. And
guard.
At the time, it was me and Jeff Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Williams was the tailback, man, and you know, fast as lightning.
Right.
And I was pulling for him, and I played middle linebacker. You know, I think I was number 80 at the Bears. You know, that's the jersey they gave me when I was a kid, number 80 at tailback. Then, you know, with the Rams, I was 00 pulling. You know, but you know, just with my mentality and things I learned over the years, man, I was a pretty physical kid. Like, and it was fun, man. And then going into junior high, I went to McKinley, and at a young age, man, wherever I went, bro, I just I had to prove myself, basically.
Right.
I had to prove myself, especially if I wanted a spot. Because when I first went to McKinley, they put me at fullback. You know, they put me at fullback.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the tailback, I forgot who it was. Mills will probably remember, but, you know, I think we was going up in practice and, you know, I lit him up a couple times and then just showed my ability to run in the ball. Then it was me. So that's the same thing through high school too.
How long was your coach up there?
I want to say, his name is on the tip.
Fred Myers. Got you.
I think Fred Myers was.
Got you.
Fred Myers was. And then, you know, just going on in the high school, like I said, I always had to prove myself, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm feeling myself a little bit, thinking I'm him.
Right.
Because that's what people telling me going into 8th grade. Now I'm going into a freshman, right? I think the first day I even stepped foot in the locker room, in Portsmouth locker room, bro, I went to the coach's office.
Mm-hmm.
It was Coach Burt and Clifford and, you know, Hickman was there, Gracial, all them. I said, yeah, look here, Coach. I ain't trying to play freshman football. I'm trying to play varsity. Bro, first day. And he laughed at me.
Right.
Coach Clifford laughed at me. You know, he's like, well, son, you got to prove yourself that you're ready for the varsity level. Mm-hmm. I said, well, okay, that's all you got to say. And I think I played, and the cards was right. I think I played one freshman game, dominated it. I played one JV game against Greeno, dominated offense and defensively. And then Chris Poore was the leading tailback, and he had got hurt. Mm-hmm. He had got hurt. And that's when I got my opportunity. They brought me up. And I think my first freshman game was against Miami Trace. And I ended up getting the player of the game. I think I carried the ball like 9 times for like 70 yards, and they got me
Chris
playing the
Paul.
game, you know.
I forgot.
And
Chris
then-
Paul wasn't
and
that
then-
bad.
I was
He
varsity.
good back.
He
I
was.
was varsity ever since.
Mhm.
I was varsity ever since from my freshman year.
So what'd you play on the defensive side of the ball at the early part versus the latter?
Well, once I got to varsity, you know, I didn't play defense.
Okay.
You know, but coming in my sophomore year, you know, I was still in the backfield, and we ran a split backfield because Shabazz came down.
Right.
Shabazz
Chillicothe.
came down from Pike. He come from
He
Pike.
come from Pike.
Yeah,
I
because
didn't
we
know
was
that.
like, bro, who's this dude, man, coming from Pike to
I didn't know that.
But he ended up being him, man. So it was me and Shabazz in the backfield, and Chris Poor went to slot.
Mm-hmm.
And on defense, I didn't start off defense my sophomore year.
So let's pause there real quick.
Yeah.
We will get a sophomore
Yeah.
year. I want to stick with your freshman year. So
Yeah.
you got a T-shirt that says what? I hoop too.
Oh yeah, bro.
So
Yeah,
let's
I
get
hoop too. For people that don't know, I hoop too.
So your freshman year, tell us a little bit about Coach Subatiki.
I'll tell you, you know, just being introduced to that, he was basically coaching us in the 8th grade in the park. You know, he see when he first, I think that was his first year, man, coming down, because I think I was a freshman in '89, so first year was '88.
Right.
And when he first got here, bro, he was just, you know, he ain't sit and wait for the players to come to him and see what he got. He came out to the park to see what was going on.
Right.
And, you know, I think the first week he was here, he out there shouting things and telling people what to do. We like, man, who this dude? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he was helping me out defensively when I was in the 8th grade.
So
And
what
then-
type of role did you play as a freshman?
Well, as a freshman, I played JV. I started JV. I was a starting point guard. Me and Jay White, you know, played JV as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
I was a starting point guard of the JV squad with me, Jay, I think TJ,
Got you.
man, some other people, bro. I can't remember.
Oh, that was dude.
Bro,
Did
no,
you-
we wasn't. Hold up, Reed. Number 1 in the state, bro. Come on, bro. Don't do us like that.
No, they was legit, man. They was a legit.
Don't do us like that.
It was a machine at that point in time.
We was
too.
23-2 or 23-1 or something like that. We lost my sophomore year. It was, which I remember a little more. My sophomore year, you know, it was me, TJ, Jay, Mike Eastet, Billy Isham, Steve Bowen, Birdie, Googie, Damon, Todd Skaggs,
Mhm.
Rockman. Number 1 in the state, bro.
Right.
You know, and we lost to Columbus Briggs in the regional final. I didn't take my moment. That's one time that I shied away
As a
from taking my
sophomore,
moment. Yes.
I didn't realize
Yes.
that was a sophomore year.
Yes, we was down 1 point, bro. We was down 1 point to Briggs. I think the Minor Skaggs come down seconds going. The Minor Skaggs come down, shoot the 3, missed it. No, we was down 3. Shoot the 3, missed it. I get the rebound
Mhm.
in the lane, and I dribbled to the corner and didn't take the shot, bro. I pissed down my leg. I passed it. I passed
So
it to
was that in the
Skaggs.
JV game?
No, that was in the
Oh.
varsity game, my sophomore year.
Combo.
Yeah, the combo,
Regional finals.
regional finals.
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? And
Yep.
I'm in the corner wide open, bro. Got the rebound, dribbled to the corner. Didn't take my moment. Passed it away, bro. All I can hear is sub in my ear. Cheese, you don't shoot unless you under the rim.
That's what Sub would tell you in practice.
Yeah, bro. I couldn't wait to brick a 3 back then.
So continue to talk about the coaches at that time. So when did they come around the same time? When did Coach Clifford get there? Coach Clifford
Coach
get
Clifford
there
was there before I got there.
before. Okay.
He was probably there with Reed now.
Right.
But
Got
he
you.
became the head coach in what, 88, 89? Around
Okay,
Troy's
so-
year.
So okay, we'll go that route then.
Stola. It was 89.
That's
Stola.
what it was.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up, seeing your older cousin Troy as a running back? Like what type of kind of standard did he set? Yeah, I mean, if
I
you've
don't think
seen
it was
much
just
of it.
Troy, man. It was just running backs, period, in our neighborhood, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see people in our neighborhood that you see every day out in the park or whatever, and then you still, as a kid, you know, them playing, you know, as a Trojan, bro, that was big time.
Right.
That was big time. And then when we see them, that's I'm even in the park. I'm Reed.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tackle me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Boomer 12. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm
Right.
Troy. We imitate them.
Mhm.
So back then, as a kid, man, we wasn't Trojans.
Mm-hmm.
We wasn't Trojans, bro. We had the 2 junior highs, McKinley, Spartans.
So speak to that. Why are you so adamant about, that particular thought?
Tell them what you told me, and it
I-
makes a lot of sense.
I just believe, man, like the Trojans is the Mecca, right? That's the Mecca in Portsmouth, Ohio. And I believe, like, once you get to that point, bro, then you're gonna give all you got. You're gonna give all you got because you wait so long to get there. You go and watch these people play every Friday, man. You see people cheering them on. It's like, dang, I can't wait to get there. Even for basketball, when they used to run and through under the light in the middle of the P when they get in there, I can't wait to go out there under the lights. You know what I'm saying? So when you got the jersey on, and when you was a freshman, if you was able to, like, it meant a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't going to tarnish this jersey because I know what it means to put this jersey on or to wear the red, white, and blue. Like, and I just think now, man, everybody is Trojans now. And by the time they get to high school, man, it don't mean as much.
It don't mean as much.
And a lot of people don't know the history. Because one thing as a kid of me growing up, bro, as far as I can remember, I know the history of most of them. Yeah, I don't remember the 70s.
Right.
But I remember what I watched.
Right.
I know the history, and then I know what it meant when I got there because, I seen those players to be great on Friday nights. I got to do the same, So that's just how I feel about that, man. And I mean, it is what it is. There isn't 2 junior highs no more. There isn't 5 elementary schools. It's all one.
Right.
So I get it. But at the end of the day, man, I think, man, some of the coaches now gotta bring back the alumni, man, just to let the kids know the history of a Portsmouth Trojan, bro, and what it means to when we go out and play in front of our community and our friends.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? White or black, bro.
Right.
Like when people from Portsmouth come to watch you play, man, it's a certain standard that we got to uphold and continue to play with because we don't lose in front of our people.
Right. Well, listen, it baffled me at I think it was the Ironton regular season game football last year. Okay, Cuz came down, JJ. We got a lot of alumni, and JJ never made it to the Portsmouth High School, but I mean, just a lot of people that come back home certain times of the year, certain games, and it is something that they remember. Like they know what a standard was, and I think a lot of times there is a disconnect because sometimes these kids just don't know. A lot of these kids don't.
And I say that, man, and I'm not saying that they're teams over the years just don't know the history or whatever because we did have some dogs,
right?
And we had some good teams over the years,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes just talking to my nephews, man, or talking to some kids I know, it's just like we lost, but I got mine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You still lost the game, though.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
Do
saying?
that, man.
Oh, it wasn't me.
Right.
It wasn't me. My man wasn't eating me up. Like,
Right.
well, y'all
That's
lost the
crazy.
game, bro.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. We don't get that. I don't think we'll ever understand that.
Yeah, I dominate my bed. Well,
Y'all still
I can't tell.
Yeah.
right. So I want to go back a little bit back to your mom. So now you're starting to really make a name for yourself. You're getting between sophomore towards junior year and everything. You all Ohio caliber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But speak to the type of standards that a lot of Black parents, mothers had for their children when it came to making sure you get your education, your books,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. My
Speak
mom
to
wasn't
that.
playing with that, man. It's my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my junior year. And basketball season was in.
Right.
And my mom was really, really big on grades, bro. Like, so I think dang, it is going fast, man.
You good, man. You good.
I think basketball year Hatcher was in. Sub had left.
Right.
And Hatcher is the coach now. Bruh, and I'm playing around, bro. I'm just barely doing enough to get by, bro. And I got a D in health.
Mhm.
I was never in class. I was being recruited. I was always out of class. I never did no work. I got a D in health, bro. And my mom, bro, it was during basketball season. She went to the coach and said, Michael cannot play in no games. He got to come to practice. But he can't play in no games until he gets his grades up. Not just the health, every grade. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get a letter from each teacher to say I was improving before she would let me play again. You know, and that was embarrassing because I just went through a football season and that was my best year. My junior year, bro. I had like 1,700 yards, bro, 25 touchdowns, bro. That's when I became making a name for myself so everybody know in the paper every week. And now, basketball season, I played a couple games. Now people seeing me in the stands, getting popcorn at halftime. Like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you playing?
Right.
They did a big write-up in the paper, you know what I'm saying, about it. Like,
Really?
Yeah, bro, it was embarrassing, bro. But, she was a real stickler for that, man. I wasn't getting my grades, so she pulled me. She ain't pulled me off the team. I just couldn't play no game. And she said, you better not play. I'm listening to the radio, too. So, man, that was for like 3 weeks, bro. I couldn't play until I got a letter from each teacher saying it was cool. And then I finally got a letter from each teacher, brought my grades up, and we was playing against Ironton, and I played like the first 3 minutes and broke my leg.
Oh, my God.
Broke my leg, bro.
So that's what I was going to get to. So I'm glad you went ahead.
Yeah.
So you was hungry. You was thirsty to get out there.
Oh yeah, bro. Because at the time, the community, you know what I'm saying? Like, they bought Hatcher in, and the community thought they should have bought Haley. So, bro, it was, as far as the black-white type thing, bro, it was rough, bro. So before that Ironton game, I think the mom and his dad, a couple other people came down. They wanted us to boycott the game, and I'm like, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, my mom say I can hoop, I'm hooping. I ain't hooping 3 months. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care what's going on. I'm hooping. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't end up boycotting it, but probably should have. But that's when I broke my leg, man, and that impacted my recruiting too. So
Right.
You didn't get anointed that game either, did you?
I don't know. Nope, because I was in a hurry. I was before every game, bro. I had to go get the oil from Mandana, bro. She couldn't wait to pray for me and slap me down some oil on my forehead. You know what I'm saying?
See what
You older than him, right?
No, I'm older. I'm older than Junebug.
What?
Come on, man.
He used to go to my house for every game. My grandma's house every game. Like,
Yeah, bro. I had to get prayer before I go into every game, but I was in a rush that time.
Right. Wow. You knew better.
Bro, this ain't long enough.
No, listen. I don't know what you're thinking. We still got a whole nother. We here, bro.
Oh, well, all right.
We are here. So, hey, man, we are at the legendary 14th Street Community Center. We are on the Roots and Routes podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. This is a call to action. Follow us. Matter of fact, comment in the comment section. I've been reading some of these comments, and I appreciate.
Hey, you know what, man? We've been moving too fast, man, and I move too fast. Like, one thing I gotta say, bro, the reason why with Reed here, man, like I said, man, you couldn't wait to put on the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I said it in the running back
episode
roundtable or whatever. Like, Reed is a big part of my game too, because I took a part of his game and added it to mine to make me who the player I was. And a lot of people that don't know out there, but I was in junior high, and I was holding the chains. And Reed got tackled on the sidelines, and his cleats tore my. No, he was in junior high. I was a kid, elementary. His cleats tore my socks, and my mom had to pry them socks off of me. Like, Reed's cleats tore these socks. I ain't taking these socks off. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go play some football in these socks.
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna be nice.
That's why we was talking about how, we cherish that moment when we get put on that red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That made a whole lot of sense to me, because when I got to that point to be able to put the red, white, blue, it was just all the way different.
Yeah.
But if you're playing Trojan right now at Pee Wee, it don't mean as much.
Yeah.
You've been a Trojan forever. You ain't thirsty.
Yeah.
Some kids just ain't thirsty enough. You know what I'm saying? We just not. Man.
And it's not all of them.
Not
There's some.
all of them.
There's some.
That's why I said
But
some.
the difference is there's only some now. To back then, it was everybody.
Everybody.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
My whole era was like that.
Yeah.
It was. We couldn't wait to go over there and run out under that light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Captain Trojan and all that, man. It meant a lot. That's it. Listen, the Pet Band.
Right.
Yeah.
It was big. Even the band was big.
Yes.
Band
The
of
Pet
Tomorrow.
Band.
Pet Band was cold.
The Pet Band was the off the chain in the middle, up top.
Yeah, up top.
Basketball was different in the spectrum.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yes. The Pet Band, bro. I remember when I was a kid, man, running up under the bleachers. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, man, you know, that's why I let my son let him do his thing, because I remember playing in the end zone.
Right.
That was legendary.
Yeah.
This
So-
means a lot, man. Kids grown up now, man. Sometimes I think it's my fault.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think overall, Reed, it's a collective, man. It's
I
not. It's not.
think it's my fault.
Hey, can I
man.
add on to that, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think it's my fault too. You know, because the thing is, bro, kids don't play in the park as much.
Yeah,
Probably because they don't see it like we did.
yeah,
Right.
we did. That's what I'm saying.
They don't see it like we did, man. And it was just some kind of disconnect, you know, just with us, with us coming through, you know, in the drug airhead and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
you know, so the kids ain't used to seeing somebody out there on the court at all given times or all night or whatever,
Yeah.
like it used to be in our day.
Right.
So, you know, we got a little hand in that too.
Man, John Reed was playing sandline football out there. They was playing pickup games all the time out here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said, it just wasn't football and basketball. I mean, it was baseball. We spray painted a box
Mm-hmm.
up in Lincoln and went up there. If you hit the ball, it was a ground ball. That was an out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we played baseball too,
Right.
man. Everybody played baseball in my era too.
Mhm.
Every season we played, man. So sometimes I believe that's my fault. I let the drugs, you know, beat me up to the point where, you know, I wasn't out there, man. Because they was out there for me. You know what I mean? They was out there for me, bro.
Right.
It hurts, bro, sometimes.
Well, you know, it's tough to be able to look back on some of our mistakes and missteps that we made and wish you had a second chance to do over again. But at the end of the day, y'all are still great road maps, and y'all
Man, them kids don't do nothing.
they don't do they don't do a lot.
That's my ticket.
Right.
They don't do anything.
Right.
I'm out here. I'm still doing nothing.
I
You know, the kids that's doing something, you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they rely on last year, what they did last year, and walk off into the next year when
Right.
everybody done caught up now.
Yeah.
You know,
And in anything, if you don't put the time in, like you said it already, work the craft. If you don't put the time in, if you don't work the craft,
somebody else.
you don't try to do everything that you can do to improve your game, improve your mind,
yeah,
improve your body, whatever, then it's going to leave you.
Hey, not only
Watch Greens, kid.
mine and all that all plays a part, man.
you drift off into something else, won't you, Mike?
You can. But the thing is, you know, what some of the kids got to realize that when they actually want to go to college, bro, you got to have the right attitude too, man.
Right.
You can't have no bad attitude, bro,
Right.
and think you're going to get into college. You can't have no bad attitude in high school, man,
Right.
and then, you know, think that your coach is going to vouch for you when coaches start calling for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, man, I wouldn't even do that. I don't care if it's my cousin, if Jamarcus.
Right.
And y'all know how he is. If a college wanted him, bro, and they called me and asked me what type of person is he, I would have to be honest, bro, because I can't put my name on that. You know what I'm saying? And now if I say, oh yeah, he's the best kid ever, and then he goes open, and I'm sorry I shouldn't have done that, bro. I messed up right there. But I gotta finish now. and this is just for everybody, man. Just watch your attitude and how you are. And always, when you are got the lights shining on you, when the lights is bright, always give 100% and watch your attitude because you never know who's watching you.
You never know.
So let's talk about that process. So now we go from all Ohio. Now you at an All-American level, senior year. You know, you hoop your senior year.
No, my mom ain't let me hoop, man.
So now you got all your focus.
Knee injury, your junior
Right,
year, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So he came off the knee injury. So now your focus is on one thing.
Put it like this: I broke my leg in February,
Mm-hmm.
in the February of '91 or '92.
Right.
I was hooping again by June, but I had to have a brace on, and I had 3 screws on my knee.
So Mills talked about this. I forgot about that. You might have been the first NIL player because you had an ad or a billboard.
Yeah, I did.
SOMC.
Yeah, SOMC. You know, they got me back together, man. And then
You still have that?
Mayor-
you still
Mayor-
got screws in your
Nah.
knee now?
I don't know, bro. I thought they took it out, but it still feel like something in there. But
Right.
you know, at
That's
the
old
time,
age.
at the time, it was a Mayor Bauer.
Yeah, I remember Mayor Bauer.
He's the one. I did a commercial for SOMC. You know, coming back off of knee during my senior year.
Right.
He's the one that shot the commercial.
Okay.
You know, and then you know they had a big half page of the paper with my picture in it, SOMC, and the billboard down there where Dollar General is. You know, SOMC, but it couldn't stay up long because I was getting recruited, and you couldn't back then. You couldn't promote anything,
Right.
or they'll take your scholarship. So they couldn't even give me nothing forward. And I think the commercial and the billboard and all that was just up for a short period of time because I could have got a scholarship took them wherever
Right.
I went to school at. So, you know, that's why, you know, it didn't last long.
Right. So Foe just made a comment on here. He said, talk about the process of how you handled your injury. Like, was there a moment that you was scared, depressed?
Oh yeah, when I first done it, man, I remember
You think it was over?
oh yeah, bro, because you know, I was just going up for a layup. I was by myself going up for a layup, man, and I did a little in and out move, and I was going to jump off with 2 legs and slap the glass. And when I jumped, bro,
Slapping
I
glass.
fell. And I'm like, man, this dude fouled me, bro. And I turned over, and it looked like my bones about to come through my leg.
Wow.
So it's like, boom, bro. I thought it was over with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out. We in Ironton, bro, at our rival. But shout out to Bobby Bryce, bro, up there.
That's the
in
one I
Ironton,
like.
bro. He the one came down on the court to check out. As a matter of fact, he got there before the trainers did.
Wow.
You know, and he was in the locker room with me. You know, and even though I got the thing I got for Ironton because it's just football, and you know how the rivalry is. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, he's one of my favorite people.
Mine too.
You know, along with Jamon Jackson and Walter Long and all them. Like, and there's still some more, man, that I can name that we cool to this day. But man, like, all I could think about on the ride to SOMC was like, my career is over.
Mm-hmm.
Until I got the news from the doctor. Like, the good news is it was just a clean break.
Right.
I didn't tear no ligaments or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it was a clean break, and that's why I was able to come back so quick. But it was also a blessing in disguise because I didn't lift weights.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't lift weights. So once I got that injury, I had to lift weights.
Mm-hmm.
I was 185 when I got injured, but I came back my senior year 205.
Wow.
You know, so you know, that was just a blessing in disguise getting me ready for college football. But also a lot of colleges dropped off of me, bro. A lot of colleges dropped off of me. My junior year, I was being recruited by every college in the nation you could think of.
Right.
You know, but a lot of them dropped off of me.
Because of that injury.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. But I still came back my senior year just being the guy and being basically the only one in the backfield, knowing I'm gonna get the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you it's kind of a two-headed question.
Yeah.
Williamsburg, Ironton, and playoffs, what success or failures did you have against those 3 entities, Williamsburg or Ironton and playoffs?
Well, Ironton, my best year against Ironton was my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
We beat them. And that was the first time we beat them in a long time, man.
Right.
We beat them 19-18. And I think I ended up having 100-something yards and 3 touchdowns.
Right.
You know, my senior year, I had 100-something yards and 1 touchdown, but we lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty much successful against
Right.
It's Ironton as far as yardage wise,
Right.
and defense. Willisburg, bro, I don't know what type of defense that coach had, but bro, I think they was tackling me when I got off the bus before I even got dressed. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like they had them and the parents and everybody tackling.
So
me,
talk
bro.
about the 7-0 game.
Well, I mean, that was a good game, bro. It was a good game. Didn't nobody's offense score. Yeah, interception return. Wish they was offsides. Some of the people, anybody that played for Willisburg back then watching this, y'all was
They
offsides.
beat you.
7-0, bro.
Nobody scored.
We
Nobody
turned the ball
scored.
over. We turned the ball over the first 5 times we had the ball. Turned it over.
Wow.
You know, and bro, it's like, you know what's so ironic about that game, bro? I was being recruited by Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, the running back coach at Ohio State his name was Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went up there for the visit, he told me he was at the Willisburg game.
See, you never know.
And then he was like, I'm like, bro, that was a bad game to be at. He's
Right.
like, not really. He said, you know where I stood at? I said, I stood in the end zone because I wanted to see what you seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you didn't. He's like, you didn't have a shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't even have a free safety. They had 9 men in the box.
Wow.
You know, at the end of the day, they had 9 men in the box. But he just said, I wanted to see what you see. You know, and I was like, okay, that makes sense or whatever. You know, he compared me to, if you remember, a running back named Ricky Irvins, a Washington Redskins
Yeah,
back in the day.
I remember him.
That's who he compared me to.
Got it.
But I think O State was going to move me to DB because Larry Collier was recruiting me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was the DB coach at the time. But, you know, with that game, man, like, bro, they had a good defensive game plan. And I broke the line, I think, 1 time. And I ran into Jeff Book, bro. And a dude named Chris Williams, from Willisburg, tackled me. And that's the only time I ever said anything in a football game. Because I ain't say much. But that's the only time I said anything. We go to the sidelines. I just told the team, listen, from this point on in the game, if I break the line, don't block. Sit
Right.
down and watch me. And I was serious, bro. I was serious. Just sit down and watch me, bro. When I'm in the open field, don't block. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah, because you already know it's
Yeah.
coming back.
yeah,
What they end
bro.
up doing? They end up doing good that year.
Who?
Willisburg, they had to.
I don't know, but I'll tell you this, bro. That's the best faking team of all my years of football I ever seen.
Really.
You ain't know who had the ball. You
Right.
ain't know who had the ball.
So,
Yeah,
so
they
speak,
get
speak to that. You know, I've heard a story about how, as a leader, you told your teammates
Yeah, they
how to
come to
handle
the
that.
huddle, man. I remember Dana and all them coming. Bro, I don't know who got the ball. I said, listen, if you think they got the ball, hit them. I'm at free safety. I
Right.
know who got the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just shout out, you know, to people in my life that taught me football, me having the football IQ I had. Like, you just hit them.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? And if they
Anybody.
don't got the ball, I'm gonna clean it up for you. And then it'll work. And I think I had like 13 tackles that game, bro.
Wow.
That free safety. But they was the best faking team. Shout out to Eaton, bro. Eaton, bro. He was nice. He was nice. We ended up playing together in college because he ended up going to Akron.
So let's
He played with Jason Taylor. That's
Okay.
a Hall of Famer, bro.
Right.
He played with Jason Taylor at Akron.
play
Jonathan
play
Eaton
for
did,
Dolphins.
from Willisburg. Yeah.
Okay.
Hell,
Right.
Jonathan Eaton made it to the Jets or made it to the last sub.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the league for a little stint.
All right, so let's transition. We're gonna go from high school. Now we're gonna go from high school to college. So what was the recruiting process like in terms of like how did Bowling Green end up being the decision?
Bro, that's crazy to me because when I used to get letters from Bowling Green, I threw them away.
Mm-hmm.
Any letter I got from the MAC, bro, I threw them away, bro. Like, but you know, after the events happened, it came down to four colleges: Ohio State, Kentucky, Bowling Green, Cincinnati.
Okay.
I was going to go to Cincinnati because they showed the most interest. They came to the house more. And the Ravens coach, John Harbaugh,
Right.
he's the one who recruited me.
Wow.
So he was at the house when we used to live on Union Street on the corner down there. He was at the house a couple times. Sat down and ate with us. Even bought my sister a little autographed picture of Jim when he was
Right.
at Michigan. You know, so I was going to go to Cincinnati. So very first visit, my Uncle Clarence went to every visit. Me and my mom, my Uncle Clarence. Very first visit was Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And it was early December, you know. They was in the bowl game preparing for Georgia when they had Garrison Hurst. was Eddie George's freshman year, so they had Butler Bounote there,
Right.
Raymond Harris, Cothran. But when I visited Ohio State, I stayed with Steve Tovar.
Mm-hmm.
He was a middle linebacker at the time.
Yeah.
I stayed with him that weekend. I'll tell you this. There's stuff I didn't look at. And I was supposed to take every visit and then talk with everybody and then make a decision, but I didn't do that. But I'll tell you this, bro. Ohio State, we had a banquet on Friday, and usually you go up Friday and be there the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a banquet, and they wanted me to get there so quick, you know what I'm saying, get up to the visit, that they picked me up in a little 4-seat airplane in Memphis.
Right.
And flew me to Columbus. Me and another dude named Derek Shepard. I think he was from Dayton Meadowdale.
Mm-hmm.
So they flew us up to Columbus, man, and it was a good visit, But like I said, they wanted to move me to defense, and then I went to Kentucky, and at that time, bro, Kentucky, man, basketball, bro.
Right.
They couldn't even get me in the club. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going here. Y'all couldn't even get me in the club.
To be young and impressionable.
Yeah, man. Football was at the bottom of the barrel in Kentucky at that time. But then when I left Kentucky, Cincinnati had dropped me because they signed a JUCO running back. And they had dropped me off their recruiting board. And then my next visit was Ohio State. I mean, not Ohio State, Bowling Green. And just going to Bowling Green, man, and meeting some of the guys, man, that I met up there, bro, like, I liked it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an underdog type of person, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they coming off 2 bowl games or whatever, man. I love the coach, the running back coach, man, but I committed there. But by the time I got there, he was gone and became the special teams coach for the Eagles or somewhere, But just meeting the crew that I met, man, like Artie Mangum was my host. He was a senior, but, just meeting the guys that I met there, man, it's like, I'll go here, man. I called Coach Clifford, like, I'm going to come in here at BG tomorrow. And he told me that Ohio State offered. And I'm like, I don't know if they're serious about me, because
right.
I visit early December, and I didn't hear from them for like a month and a half, but
right.
not realizing they preparing for a bowl game.
Right.
But when I committed to Bowling Green, bro, Ohio State was at the school that Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Collier talking to me, man, like, why do you want to go there? They play it from the 30, 40,000 people. We play it from the 90.
Right.
We on the national TV every week. They on national TV maybe once or twice. We go to a bowl game every year. They have to win their conference to go to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom and Coach Clifford told me don't change my mind on that. But one thing Coach Collier told me, man, was never go through life saying what if.
Right.
Do not ever go through life saying what if, bro. And I ain't know that sentence he told me there, man, would rear his head later on down in my life. But it did, and he was right. So the thing is, man, the recruiting process it's great. They treat you like kings before you get there, but when you get there, it's a different story.
So let's get there. So we have someone that's coming on the screen right now from Bowling Green, Mr. Dwaylen himself. If you can see right here.
I ain't seen DA in years now. I'll talk to him.
Shout out.
What up, dog?
How you doing?
DA.
What's going on, man? What's going on? Listening to y'all, man. It's good, man. I feel honored, man, that that Parker would even consider somebody like me to help, orchestrate, or what I'm saying, basically orchestrate what he's doing in his life. I've had a great deal of respect for him when I first met him. Just like Parker, there was only 2 schools I was going to go to. It was either going to be Ohio State or Pitt. And I didn't have my test scores in a timely fashion. My coach really didn't tell me that I needed to have test scores. So everybody backed away. And when they backed away, it was the plague back when, I came out in 90. I came out of high school in 91. I graduated in 91. So unless you was a blue chipper, something like that, you were, that's back when the Prop 48. So no one called.
Where you from originally?
I'm born and raised in Youngstown, Ohio, from the Yo.
Right. That's where my people from.
I'm from the Yo, from the South Side, down the hill.
Gotcha.
I went to high school called Woodrow Wilson.
Okay.
I was good in Little League football. I started when I was 10, but I was a little dude, and I just worked at my craft. And then I got a little bit good. By the time I got in high school, I worked. And coaches and some players were like, man, you're gonna be special. Just keep working at it. When I went to college, I hit that growth spurt. I came out of college, high school, I was 5'11", 185. When I left college, I was 6'3", 250. So I hit a 4 inches and put on 80 pounds of muscle. When I came in, I wasn't a running back. I was actually I was basically like an H-back back in the day, like an H-back,
Right.
tight end, tailback.
So you was there at Bowling Green before Mike, right?
Yeah.
I came in Bowling Green. My freshman year was in '91.
So what's your first memory of your interaction with DA and vice versa?
He's talking now.
Who?
I can't hear him. He's talking.
I'm thrown off.
No, it's just it's don't worry about that. That's a delay.
Oh, that's a delay. Oh, delay again.
So we back. My bad. So we gonna take a pause real quick. Like, share, subscribe. We're at the Roots and Routes podcast. We apologize for any technical difficulties we maneuver and we try to make things work. So we appreciate. We got Mr. DA himself representing the Yo, also Bowling Green alum.
Yes, sir. My fullback.
His fullback. So continue on. What's your first memory of Mike? And Mike, what's your first memory of interaction with each other?
Well, like I said, like BA was the fullback, man, and I'm coming in as a freshman, and like you said, 6'3", 250.
Right,
like, bro. That I wasn't amazed at that. Like, bro, these dudes is big.
Yeah.
But we had a tackle, Jason Peters.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he's the biggest human being I ever seen, bro. Like, he was like 6'7", 300 pounds, bro. Tackle. Like, bro, this is real deal football here.
Right.
But just coming in and just being in the running back room, man, and just seeing how these guys is working and the things they done, man, it just just inspired me just to go do my best, man. I don't think me and DA really start, hanging out and kicking until like my sophomore year.
Right.
But once we made that connection, bro, it's inseparable, bro. And that's the thing about Bowling Green, man, was the cohesiveness that the black players have with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So talk about that, DA. I know when we talked together. Go ahead.
No. I say this I think the biggest thing is that you got to understand where collegiate football was back in the early '90s, especially in Bowling Green. It was a dominantly white school. Out of 20,000, we only made up 3%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the 3% came from Detroit, Toledo, Cleveland, Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus area. It was only a little sprinkle of us. So anytime you seen us, and now don't forget, Bowling, even though you had Toledo 20 miles up the road, which was in the city, and it was just like being in the hood again, Bowling Green was off the beaten path. And Bowling Green was one of those schools that literally, it didn't come alive until now. Like, as far as being, a university where you can say, okay, blacks are going and love to go. Back then, it was like, it was far and few. It was fun to go to. But what I'm saying is there was a different culture.
Yeah.
The culture was still, stay in your lane, know your lane. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. It is what it is. Right. When I first met Parker, I guess the thing is being from, I went to a mixed school, so I was always one of those guys that when I first came as a freshman, one of my guys that I played high school football with, he walked me through the ropes. His name was Shemaine Spivey. Mm-hmm. He took care of me when I first came to Bowling Green. So I made it my job that any of the freshmen or any of the bros that came in, I'm gonna welcome them like I was welcome. Because when I first got there on my trip, he took me out and I met Artie Mangum and everybody. They made sure I had a ball, that the camaraderie was there. That's what brought me to Bowling Green. The camaraderie was like, okay, these some cool brothers, whatever. I'll let the school do what it do. But from this standpoint, I can mess with these guys. These guys, if Spivey is endorsing them, then that means they're good guys. So, and then the other thing is, man, no one no one really knows how it is, man, when you go to college that first year, you being away from home. You not the man no more. You
Different
was the
world.
man in high
Yeah.
you the man in high school, but when
Yeah.
you come to college, you ain't the man. And
Right.
if you are the man, it's they put so much hype to you that as soon as you gonna still hit that wall
Mhm.
other the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th game, you're gonna hit the wall. And when
Right.
you hit the wall, who is going to be there to support you when you hit that wall?
Yeah.
Your mama ain't gonna be there, your daddy ain't gonna be there. The coaches are gonna be there, but they're not there. It's an internal thing that you have to figure out.
Mhm.
And it's hard to explain. You just have to learn how to, it's like we say, man up. You gotta man up.
Yeah.
So one of those things is that, I hit a wall when I first got to in my freshman year. I was on the travel team, I was this, but wasn't nobody showing me the ropes. It was like all the old heads was like, oh, you should know. Like, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? I ain't even been here a year.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I met Parker, I had heard some things about him, seeing some of his stats, what he was doing. But the thing that stood out is his stature. You know what I'm saying? If you looked at the running backs that were at Bowling Green at the time, we only had really one power back. His name was Leroy.
Mhm.
He was maybe 6'1", 6'2", maybe about 250, maybe 210, 215. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Muscular, wasn't super, super fast, but ran hard. Then we had a George Johnson. He was more of a scat back, and then we had a guy named Zed Jackson, and he was more of a lateral guy. But Parker came in with a different dynamic.
Okay.
He was more of a power back. But he reminded me of he put you in the mind of this is a good comparison. He put you in the mind of he ran like LaDainian Tomlinson when he got out in the open field to a degree,
Mhm.
but he was more like a Jerome Bettis, like, you know what I'm saying? He was one of those guys that in between the tackle, he was good, but when he get out in the open field, it was gonna be a nice little foot race. And I say like a LaDainian, like he could use stiff arm, he could do some things
Right.
where
You know,
the other back in open field, like whereas with Leroy was just a north-south runner. He could get out in the open field, but you can catch him a little bit. Zeb and George, when they got in the open field, they hit another gear, they were gone. But those guys wasn't thick enough to take that. You know what I'm saying? This is like Parker was a bowling ball, so you really couldn't get pad level. You had to get him in the backfield, otherwise it was going to be a trip. And then I think the thing is that he was very good laterally. So when you went to go hit him, it was like, guys were bouncing off of him.
So hey, were you with the team? So your freshman year would he be able to recall that story of when you told the coach?
Oh yeah, he was there.
So Mike,
He was
tell the audience the story of one of your doghouse stories.
Bro, it was my freshman year. It was my freshman year, bro. We was playing, I think we played Miami of Ohio, and they dominated us. I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of the first losses that Bowling Green had in almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? At home.
Right.
And, bro, we come back to practice, man, the following week, bro, and I don't know, a coach forgot we was running or something, but, bro, we was running gassers. And the gassers, you sideline to sideline. So you go one sideline back, sideline back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we was on like 10 or 11, bro. And it was hot. And it was full gear, bro. And I'm a freshman, and I just quit running. I said, man, this is it. I ain't running no more. And the Coach Bradley come blowing the whistle. Parker, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, Coach, man, I seen Jesus. He told me quit running.
Hey.
I seen God, bro. He told me quit running, bro. I ain't running no more. He called practice after
that. How you respond to that, man? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, bro.
Where you get that line from?
Troy. I heard Troy say it one time, man.
Oh,
And Troy was right up at Toledo. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You know, bro. I seen Jesus told me quit running, bro. It's over with. Woo. Bro, I think I've been in the doghouse ever since.
So what they have y'all do as far as like was that was at the end of the gassers?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what I'm saying. He basically
So he stopped. Yeah,
like
he
a
called
little
it
bit
after that. Right.
I mean, but to go to Bowling Green and going in my freshman year, man, I was super nervous, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, I did know my abilities, but it's like, damn, can I play?
Right.
Can I play, man? And I didn't redshirt.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't redshirt. I played as a freshman,
right,
and later as a freshman. But I think, man, my aha moment in college, bro, like we had a all MAC middle linebacker, Vince Palco, Vinny Palco, bro.
Right.
And my number's 28, his is 30, so we right next to each other, huh? We right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a drill called inside. And this is when I knew I could play.
Right.
And at that moment again, bro, it's like, you know, there's somehow I had to block him. That fullback, I had to block him, you know, like a ice or whatever. And we hit and we stalemated. It hurt. But when we got back in the locker room after practice, he leaned over and said, man, my shoulder's still hurting from that hit. We did an inside drill. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah.
I'm in there. And that's when the confidence came. You know what I'm saying? The confidence came, man, and, you know, just waiting for an opportunity. Just waiting for an opportunity. Unfortunately, I did get the opportunity, but I didn't stay on the path to keep that opportunity going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got to some other things I shouldn't have got into.
So before we get there, DA, if you could speak to it without going too far, we know what Mike was like between the lines. Outside the lines, what were some of the memories that y'all have just in hanging out? I think Mike had mentioned that he didn't really hang out until his sophomore year. So what is your memories in terms of how he was able to kind of come into his own at Bowling Green off the field? You hear me? DA. Waylon. He might not be able to hear me. Anyway, so we'll come back to him. So Mike, what began to unravel in your life? Why did you lose your focus, and what happened, whether it was in your personal life or just the way the game was unfolding for you?
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in college, man, and enjoying the college life.
Okay.
You know, going in coming out of high school, bro, I ain't do nothing, bro. Like, I ain't smoke, I ain't drink, I ain't do nothing. But you know, one of them was the fear of going home to see my mom. But you know, it just wasn't in my DNA. But then when I went to college, man, and experienced a college life, you know what I'm saying, I started drinking a little bit my freshman year. Started smoking a little weed here and there, and you know, now that I look back on it, you know, I was always mad, like, man, they ain't never give me an opportunity to show what I really need, show what I really had to do. But at the end of the day, my off the field habits had to play in that, you know, and I didn't see it back then. I see it now.
Right.
You know, if I didn't have those off the field habits, man, you know, who knows where I could have been? Because you know, whatever you do, man, whenever you engage in any competition, man, you got to feel you the best. And I just felt I was the best at the time, man, but just wasn't getting the right opportunities. Yeah, I played. I played a lot, you know, but I wanted more carries. But my off the field habits didn't put me in the position to get more carries. And they knew what was going on, man. And you know, they did right. But, you know, I guess that's the way it was supposed to happen.
Right. Wow. So, I mean, I'm sure that's tough coming from a big fish in a small pond. Now you're going to a circumstance where you're one of the guys, but also the off the field stuff, like you said, played a part in the the waywardness,
Yeah, yeah.
so to speak.
So what happened in college, man? You know, I'm coming in my junior year, bro, and we supposed to be the top in the MAC, man. We got everybody back.
Right.
We just coming off an 8-2 season, and like back then, you had to win the conference to get in the bowl game. Yeah, which we lost the last game, man. And you know, to rewind, my freshman year, halfway through the season, I had a high ankle sprain. My sophomore year, you know, in the first 5 to 6 games, bro, like, you know, I had like 5-6 touchdowns, man. Like that was my best year in college. But then I had an ankle injury and was out 4 to 5 games.
Right.
You know, then coming back my junior year, man, we got everybody back, bro. And we was supposed to you know, be real successful.
We're supposed to run the MAC.
Yeah, man. And I don't know what happened, man. We ended up going, 6-5, BA?
Yeah, well, biggest thing is that there was you guys hear the echo?
What'd you say?
Tony's good.
I don't know whether you heard the echo or not.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think the biggest thing is when Parker and them finally got there, the old regime, as far as the old heads, they left. I was part of that, but I was that new leadership.
Right.
So I wasn't with the stuff that they was on in that old regime.
Hey,
they was
sending yourself on the screen. The audience needs to see you, man. They need to see
you. Can you see me now?
Yeah, we see you now. Well, you good.
That old regime was part of that racist regime. You know, we didn't hold leadership roles. Wasn't no such thing as a black quarterback.
Right.
When it came to the linebackers, we had to be outside linebackers, not the main linebacker. When instead of us being the free safety, we could only be strong or corners. So that mindset was still like that was. When Parker and them came, I was on that boat of play the best man that's out there.
Right.
The coaching staff wasn't on that. So that's when they started pitting us against one another. So it was like, why is me and Parker competing against one another? But the white boy ain't competing against us. White boy's playing. Me and Parker are battling it out at practice, and come game time, we don't get no playing time, or our playing time is limited.
Got you. Hey, so listen, that's 1000% rooted in a lot of the things that we have to deal with, trying to overcome and try to figure out how to maneuver ourselves in. So, but what I was asking before you couldn't hear me anymore, because I was trying to figure out where, like, between the lines, we kind of know some of the stuff that Michael brought to the table. But what I was asking before you couldn't hear me no more was how outside the lines, if you seen the spiral, if you was a witness to any of the things that he started to kind of dibble and dabble in, without going too far, you know what I'm saying? But kind of paint the picture if you was able to witness some of that. Well, Michael had mentioned a lot of the things that happened off the field. It was because he wasn't focused off the field. A lot of things that happened on the field is because he wasn't focused off the field.
Well, let me also let you know something. When Parker and them came in, they brought in him and his class. They brought in a new athleticism and something that we needed.
Right.
The thing is that the coaching staff, when they seen it, they didn't know how to embrace it as a whole.
Got you.
I agree with that.
So when I mean about if you wasn't from the inner city, you wasn't black, a lot of those ball players didn't understand. They had been playing for so long, they didn't have to compete.
Yep.
So once Parker and them got there, as I explained it, there was a different dynamic. Also, the coaching staff, we only had one black coach. So it was difficult to understand the life that we had to live outside of football.
Right.
It was difficult. And you had to have some discipline to do so. I was one of those guys that tried to took them up under my wing
Right.
and let them know you can't do that. However, guess what? You know what I'm saying? This is experience is his best teacher.
Right.
So some of the things that Michael found pitfall to, they wasn't no different than anything else. Anything else. Tell me who doesn't drink or smoke in college? Who doesn't? Who doesn't try their first drink when they get to college? Or their first cigarette or whatever it may be. I think the thing is the mindset of how school, it did something to us. You needed to have an out.
Right.
Football
Well,
wasn't your out.
I can only imagine. I talked about it a second ago where you're coming from a situation, and you alluded to it perfectly. You're the man.
You're the man.
So now, unfortunately, sometimes we cope with things the wrong way, and we take our outlets to certain situations that, you know, it may take us all the way off the rail, or just maybe very, very slightly off the rail. So what I want to really address and kind of speak to and allow y'all to speak to is when you get off track.
Yeah.
When did you realize, Michael, you know, I'm off track? And did you ever think, well, man, I'm gonna get back to it? Or did you feel like, you know, chalk it up, I ain't even worried about it no more? What was there a moment you realized you was off the hook? Or
I didn't realize I was off the hook till way later on down the line.
Okay.
You know, but I knew I wasn't on track. You know, my junior year, you know, my playing time started to decrease a little bit. Wasn't getting as much carries as it was my sophomore year. But they was also in the process of what that Waylon was talking about, to where we start competing against each other, is put me in the fullback role.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And trying to get me on the field. But I didn't really want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I'm leading the team at average per carry every year.
Right.
It's like, man, give me an opportunity to carry the ball 15 to 20 times. But, you know, that's just me talking. You know, I don't even know if I was in the shape to carry that ball that many times.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Every year. I was up at 5 in the morning every morning, you know.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter if you was in shape. The reason why I say that is because our practices, if you could get through a practice, a game was easy.
Yeah.
I have not played maybe 2 games out of 4 years that I could say I was tired. We was in that much shape.
There's one game, bro, that I experienced. We was playing Louisiana Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was junior year. First game of the season. You know, we projected to dominate them. I think we ended up losing by 7. We had so many.
We did. We lost.
Right.
Ryan Henry was our quarterback. He was preseason All-American. But, bro, I carried the ball like 11, 12 times that game. And that was the first time in my life I was ever sore in a game. The first time, bro. So if I see somebody that do carry 25, 30 times,
right,
you know what I'm saying,
you know,
bro, all hats off. Because I know in the college level, bro, I'm like, I told one of the dudes, like, bro, you ain't playing, are you?
Nah.
You know you ain't had to give me that hit. You know what I'm saying?
But don't forget, Parker. Don't forget, back then we played we also played special teams. You know what I'm saying? It was rarely that your starters on offense, you figure I played kickoff return. Only thing I didn't play is punt return because I was on defense. So there were certain things, but the biggest thing when you were saying about when Parker got into the trouble, I think what it was is this: there was no outlet for us. We couldn't go and talk to a coach about the social issues that we were having on the team. Don't forget, the team was like, I would say probably 65 white, 35 black. And I'm not scared to say it. There was a line that was there, and that line was drawn, and you knew it was there, but you knew not to touch it, because if you touched it, the recourse of not playing, but really, you might not be in school no more. You had to address it like that. You just learned not to say certain things. If you look at Bowling Green today, it's outfitted totally different than it was when we were there. There was no such thing as a black head coach. That's their second head black coach. So, the things that, and guess what? Mike didn't fall off into something that was so bad. There was a part of depression, and in his depression, that was his coping mechanism. There was a lot of ball players, myself included, had started falling off the rail. But the thing is that.
So let me ask this. Now you got there to Bowling Green first, we're correct? So
correct.
Did Mike leave Bowling Green before you, or at the same time as you, or after you?
I left before.
Mike, put it this way: I graduated. I walked across the stage. And my senior year was in '95, so I walked across stage. I can't remember. I thought Parker was still there in '95.
I left after the first semester in '95 in December.
So Mike.
So that means he just left in December.
So Mike dealt with it in a way that, again, if we go back to Mike's 18-year-old self, and now at this point in time, you're your third year in the Bowling Green, so you're basically what, 21, 22, 20, 21, 22. So so Mike.
No, I was 20 and 20.
So Mike was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And now at this point, he's coping with it in a way that he sees his life spiraling, especially hindsight. And it's one of those things where the environment was conducive to him making certain choices. So at this point in time, let me make a pause for the calls first real quick. So season 1, episode 22. Danny, I wanted to give you a little crumb real quick. So we entitled this episode September the 29th. And the reason we'll get to that here in a second. September the 29th, there's a story behind this. So right now, Mike, you go back home.
Yeah, it all started in BG.
Let me also say this. This is key. Our coping mechanisms back then, if we had a dysfunction at home or there was a dysfunction on the field or anything, only thing that the bros can do is go over to one of each other's house, either have a barbecue, have a couple of brews or whatever else, and talk about it. But really, back then, there was no really counseling, no intervention that we had to be able to deal with the real. Also, it wasn't like we had a bunch of money. So if you didn't have a car, you were stuck on campus. Then the last thing I'm gonna say is this. I think by the time I was a senior, they had made a rule that if you didn't have a certain GPA, you couldn't move off campus. It was all these stipulations that they started throwing because of, and I'm gonna say this, because of the black athlete on the team. Now, does that mean that certain things that Parker and certain other individuals did wasn't bad, was not bad? Yes. But to me, it was this: you were singling out certain individuals rather than singling out the whole bunch. If that makes sense.
Right. So, but what I want to focus on is the acknowledgement. Mike's acknowledging that
Mhm.
the missteps that he made, while was not all the way entirely just the symptom itself, because obviously the symptom, but the acknowledgement that Mike is speaking to is like he's not in a good headspace, and like you said,
Correct.
he's coping with it in a way that it is what it is. So what I want to get to is, Mike, what made you leave Bowling Green?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it was, my off the field habits and just the selfish thinking, man. Because like, I think at the time, man, the coaches was trying to put me in the position where they can get me on the field more. And shout out to, Courtney and Keelan, Courtney Davis and Keelan Cates, man. I love them to death. Them as my homeboys. You know what I'm saying? And we competed with each other every day. And they did what they had to do, and they deserved their time too. So I think the coaches were trying to put me in the position to get me on the field more, and they were starting to move me to fullback because I ended up starting the game. But the game after we played Western Michigan, I started fullback.
Man,
and they put me in. You know what I'm saying? I started fullback that game, and then after that game, I quit because I'm like, I feel like I should be tailback. You know what I'm saying? I should be tailback, and I started to become a selfish player, man, and that wasn't me at all. Mm-hmm. I ain't never been that type of player, man. And now that I think about it, I was focusing more on the off the field habits than actually, just doing whatever I can to help the team. Mm-hmm. And it just led me to make a decision, man, that I quit, bro. And once I quit, man, I left. I mean, the coaches even gave me an opportunity to come back, but I was just being selfish, man, and I thought I was going to transfer. But when I came back home, man, and once I got here, ball game.
So if you could speak to it, Mike, what exactly were you without? I mean, whatever you feel comfortable with. What all was you indulging in?
Well, when I got back here, man, like I'm hanging around with the homies. You know what I'm saying? And that's around the drug epidemic, especially in '95, man. And the people I hung out with was getting it. But I'm from a single parent household, man. Sometimes where I know how it was not to have food sometimes, or sometimes not have heat, or sometimes not have water, bro. Like, and it just got to the point to where, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a pack, flip it, and help out around the house. That was the mindset. But once just having that mindset, and once I started, I opened the door I wasn't able to shut for myself for the next 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It just opened up a lot of things to enter in my life that I indulged in. And at the time I was just drinking and smoking weed when I first started, but just being in the drug game, it opened the door up to pills. Start off with Tyloxes, man, and then I think 98, 99, Oxycontin came in. And then once I started engaging in them, things started to become physical. Mm-hmm. Basically, you know what I'm saying? If you don't got them, your body feels a certain type of way. Mm-hmm. And it gets to the point, man, I was just out there selling drugs and doing different things just to get another drug.
Right.
Putting my life on the line every day, to get high, man. And then my downfall was like the 97, 98 draft. Mm-hmm. And just watching the draft and seeing some people I done played against or played with, maybe getting drafted, and I know that I'm just as good as or better than. Like, that just sent me into a deep depression to where, I just got deeper into the lifestyle, man, to where, it almost destroyed me because it got to the point to where I started to accept it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, man, would see me out like, Michael, man, you the best running back I've seen in a long time. I thought you'd be doing this or doing that.
Right.
And this is around 2001 or 2002. And it's like, man, my brothers is doing that now. If you want to watch football, go watch them. I'm out here gang banging, selling dope right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, it got to the point, man, to where I went to a deep funk, bro, a deep depression, man, and a lot of isolation, bro.
So let me ask you this, Mike, like, what was it like facing facing your brothers and facing your mom and facing the community. Like you said,
Well, I mean, after a while, man, you get so used to it, you don't care what people know.
Nah, that dope, no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't even care. Like, this is what I do now, accept it or don't.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Until you look yourself in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're coming down or whatever, you know,
That's
accept it or
coming
don't.
down.
But you know, I isolated a lot, bro. I didn't go around my mom and them a lot. I didn't go around to the crib a lot, just for the respect that you don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there's things I did do that I ain't proud of either, bro. Like, so, you know, with that, man, I was just grateful that my higher power and God gave me the eye to see that the actions that I was engaged in
Mm-hmm.
was leading me to self-destruction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just great because a lot of people that's in the lifestyle or in the disease of addiction right now don't see that, bro. And a lot of them is you know, unfortunately, it's some, you know, some slow singing and flower bringing, bro. And I'm just grateful that my higher power gave me the eye to see. And I think the only reason why that happened was because of people praying for me. It was people praying for me, man.
Right.
That got me through, man. And
That's it.
So now, Mike, what I want you now to speak to, you're at the next step. Now you're looking at some numbers. You're looking at some time. You're looking at, you know, so you're mid-90s, height of your powers. Early 90s, height of your powers. Into the mid-90s. Now you're so far from where you perceived yourself. You said 98. You're looking at your peers and whatnot. So now, so now we're looking at prison time. What?
2003.
2003. So what was that like in terms of your psyche? How you saw yourself? Like, were you afraid? Did you feel like it was over? Like you'll never see the light of day again?
I think the only time that, you know what I'm saying, I was nervous was before I went.
Okay.
You know, and then the actual, they go ahead. When you go to prison, bro, you go to Orient. The first thing you do is get off the bus, go in the room, you get naked. You know what I'm saying? Squat call. Next thing you do, they give you little clothes or whatever, haircut. You know what I'm saying? Then you get your little gear or whatever. They take you to whatever dorm you're going to be in Orient, and then you go in the cell. And, you know, just me going in the cell, looking around, and I'm like, our unit. I'm like, I'm in prison. Just talking to myself like, bro, there is no way I thought I'd be in this position.
Right.
But I can't say it over here, you know what I'm saying? I'm one, you know what I'm saying? So I'm here, I might as well adjust.
Right.
You know, and that's just the mentality I had, bro. When I was even in prison, man, like, you know, I went to Orient and then I went to CCI. I was on the inside for like a week, and then they sent me out back to the honor camp. You know, so I ain't around the real deals.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's levels to prison. You got minimum security, medium, you know, close. I'm in a minimum security camp, so you know a lot of people in those camps can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So there's a lot of stuff I didn't worry about, like as far as that storage at prison here. You know, I just got to stay out of, don't get in debt, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just, you know, I didn't even learn anything from prison, bro. I ain't learned to do anything better. I just met more people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when I got out, man, it was just, I'm trying to do it better now so I don't get caught and go back. You know, and it just, unfortunately, I ain't gonna even say unfortunately, man, it was just a blessing in disguise. My daughter was around me more, bro. And I'm ending up taking her to school every morning and doing this, and I'm thinking I'm being a good parent because I'm doing that. But at the end, by the time she go to school, I'm still engaging in selling dope and doing what I do. But then it was one time, bro, I got arrested, bro, and I ain't make it to pick her up. And it's like, damn, man, all I can think about while I'm going to jail is my daughter sitting in school waiting on her dad to pick her up, bro. And here I am back in trouble again. You know, and that was the beginning of the turnaround, that because I'm starting now to see that my actions is affecting other people. I was always like, why is everybody worrying about me? I'm only hurting myself.
Right.
But it ain't true, man. My actions affect other people, bro. And she let me know it when she come to visit me. Unfortunately, they didn't send me back to prison. They sent me to the STAR program.
Mm-hmm.
But when she come to visit me, man, she crying at 5 years old, like, Dad, why you always get in trouble? And I ain't had nothing to take me from that reality, man. No alcohol, no pills, and none of that, bro. And I had to feel that, like, man, my actions is affecting other people, man. And you know, I think that's where the beginning of the turnaround started. Because now I'm getting back in. They had something called RU, where it's more of a faith-based type of thing, man.
Right.
That I got into out in Franklin Furnace, and shout out to Mr. Hankins. But I also read a book called Purpose Driven Life, bro.
Right.
When I quit football, bro, I didn't know what to do. I just thought half my body was just dead, bro. I didn't know what to do with myself because that's all I knew, you know. And then it just got to the, you know, I got into the drug game and started doing that, man. And then, you know, that brought down a deep depression, man. And to where, you know, I contemplated suicide. I thought about it. I just couldn't inflict pain on myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't do it. So, you know, I read this book, man, Purpose Driven Life, bro. And one thing that I got out of that book, man, is like, you know, it says God chooses the people to conceive you. You know, when you are born at that moment and at that reason for a reason. And once you are born, bro, you know, once you are born, your purpose is etched in stone. You don't control what your purpose is, you know, but you know, it's a straight line once you're born. But as we get older, we get to make decisions. And as I got older, man, I started making decisions, and I was getting offline on that purpose, bro.
Right.
But it said you can choose the people you want to date, food you want to eat, car you want to drive, but you don't choose your purpose. So to me, it got me to thinking, like, well, maybe football wasn't my purpose in life. You know, and that's where it got to the point to where I started to understand things a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, I ain't gonna keep just dwelling on something that I made because that was my decision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't continue to beat myself up over for years because that was my decision to quit. You know, that's where that thing come back into play where Coach Collier said from Ohio State, like, never go through life saying what if.
What if?
You know what I'm saying? And I found myself doing that. And with me doing that, it kept me in the past. And I couldn't move forward. I will all make excuses. Well, my dad was in my life more. I probably wouldn't have made that decision. Mm-hmm. If I'd have chose to go to this school, it probably wouldn't be this bad, or it probably wouldn't have happened this way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just me dwelling on that, man, just kept me in the past, which was sinking me more and more and more.
Right.
But once I read that book, man, it started to make sense. Like, well, maybe that wasn't my purpose. You know, but one thing, I didn't know what my purpose was at the point when I'm starting to realize this, but I knew what it wasn't. Mm-hmm. I knew it wasn't running around here living life like a savage, selling dope, getting high, going in and out of jail, not taking care of your responsibilities.
Right.
I know that's not it.
Right.
You know, but, you know, if I start doing the next right thing and inviting people in my life to help me make the next right decision, then maybe I can reach that purpose. So, you know, getting out of Star, I had all the intentions on doing the right thing, but I still thought I could drink.
Right.
And I was just drinking there for a minute, man. And, you know, I found myself in jail again because I started snorting pills again, mm-hmm. You know, and, you know, then, you know, I got the opportunity to really, really change, man, because my life flashed in between my eyes. When I got out of Star in June or July of 2004 and went back to jail in September 27th. And me and Mills went to jail together, matter of fact. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what September 29th is, man.
So let's do this.
What?
September 29th. So I want to put a bookmark right here. Like, share, subscribe. Roots and Routes Podcast. Mills, the reason we called this episode September 29th, I called him about, it's probably like 3 weeks ago now. And he explained to me what you're about to explain right now, and I want you to put it in the best context that you can put it in. So September 27th. Now we're at September 29th. What year?
2005.
20 years ago, almost to the day.
I changed my life. Did whatever I took. You know, put that in my bars. But September 29th, man, is my clean day. It was the last time I ever drank alcohol or did a drug or smoked weed or none of that. That's September 29th, 2005, man, was the day that I took, you know, put my foot down and you know, started to grab a hold of my life. You know, and on that date, man, I was in jail, bro, on my way back to prison. You know, and I told my PO, send me back to prison, man. I knock this little time off, I'll be off paper and I'll be straight.
Mm.
But it just didn't happen like that, man. They gave me the opportunity to go back to the Marsh House, go to treatment for the second time.
Right.
And that's the time I just, told myself, like, man, I done been through this once, so I'm going to go in with a different mindset this time, man, and just do what these people tell me what to do and see what happens. I just put it on the time frame. Like, I'm going to get this 2 years, man. Like, I'm going to do whatever they tell me to do for 2 years. And if my life don't change, I can always go back to the streets, So the thing is, man, on September 29th is the time I made that decision, man, to see if I can change or not. And I didn't think I can change. I didn't have no confidence that I can change because I always mess things up. You know what I'm saying? I messed up a full ride. Like, I get out, I didn't take advantage of a free education. I get down here, get a couple jobs. I messed that up. I become a parent in 1999. I messed that up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just like everything I touch, I messed up. So, it beat my confidence up a little bit. But, once I sat down and just put my mind to it, I'm like, man, I'm going to give this 2 years, bro. And if my life don't change in 2, I'm going to go back to what I know. Now I'm on year 20.
Right.
Never thought I could get 24 hours, but I'm on year 20. And not only that, man, the journey that I, been through those 20 years, man, it's just an amazing feat that I thought I would never experience.
Wow. 20 years almost to the day. And I know a lot of times when people make mistakes, we see our peers, sometimes people that we know from where we're from, and they get stuck. So I'm sure many people can look at your story and look at even read your story and recognize themselves in you, Reed, and then also you, Mike. And for you to be able to kind of dust yourself off and try again, you was at a moment where you gave up. You did give up. Like you probably within yourself, could have easily made that same mistake again. You could have, when it comes to the vices that you had, but you ultimately got time and space behind you, meaning you're not 1 year clean, you're not 2 year clean, and not only are you just clean, you've been accomplishing and acquiring knowledge, wisdom, purpose, and you've been inspiring, giving back. A lot of people don't get back, man, to where you're at if you never accomplished another thing in your life. And I believe you will. But if you never accomplished another thing in your life, you've impacted many. I just read a comment on here. Bobby Joe Rickett, she says, Michael Parker. Let's go back. I want to quote it right. I don't want to misquote her. She says, Michael Parker, one of the greatest people I have ever met. Great person and friend. Mm-hmm. People know you in many facets. You're a father, you're a grandfather, a coach, athlete, former athlete, a counselor. You've got degrees behind your name now. You're in the life that you've lived, a teacher. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things that the youth aspire to be, those that came before you, those that come after you, they can look at, like I said, it's almost like a roadmap, stop signs or yield signs on the road. If somebody don't want to recognize and read the signs, they can go down the same path or a longer path to get there. Mm-hmm. Giving back to the community, man. There's a lot of people that salute you. Like when I put together that montage of people saying, I am Michael Parker, there's a lot of people that will very eagerly and gladly say, I am Michael Parker. Why? Because they know the man. They know you. They know you personally.
And I think that's just, a big shout out to my family, man, my grandma, my mom, and just, doing the things they did to raise me, man. And just being respectful, bro. All these years, like, I don't know if there's no stories that you can ever see me disrespect anybody, man.
Right.
Even through high school where I was the man and walking around the hallways, bro. And there's people that I always gave people time, you know what I'm saying? No matter who it was, man. And I was just good to everybody. Again, like my mom said, be good to everybody you meet because you never know when you meet them again. And just, just getting clean and sober, man. I just felt like this. I always go through my head too when my mom told me, man. And rest in peace to my mother.
Yes.
Be a leader instead of a follower.
Mm-hmm.
Be a leader. So when I did make that decision to get clean, man, that was just me being a leader and stepping away from the crowd, which was hard for me to do because a lot of people that I hung with and doing the things I was doing was friends, bro. That I love them to death. We grew up together. We ate birthday cake together, man. It was hard for me to separate. But at the end of the day, man, I had to be that leader. And one thing that got me to that point, and I could go to church more and give God more praise, man, because I was raised in that way, But I did read some of the scripture, man, and I think it was Corinthians, chapter 14, 1 Corinthians. Verse 35, it said, basically, do not be misled. That bad company corrupts good character, and stop sinning and come to your senses because there are some who's ignorant of God. Like, that put me in the sense that, okay, my crowd ain't bad company, man. We just made bad decisions. But somebody got to step away and show them that there's another way. And once I got that opportunity, man, that's why I kept doing it. That's how I can separate myself a little bit. I just didn't turn my back on none of the homies. When I seen them, it was always love. I just didn't stay long. But I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing. Hopefully, what I do will become a light to you. And that's why I just stayed on the path, bro.
Right.
I just stayed on the path, man. And and there's some who has followed. But I think the big thing in that, I didn't act better than him.
Right.
To whoever was out there. I don't care how it was. I remember my homeboy Loke, rest in peace, man. Loke passed away, man, of cancer, man. I remember he stopped me in the middle of the street one day, like, bro, I'm hungry, bro. I ain't slept in a couple of days, bro. And this one I lived on Kent Street. I said, bro, get in. I took him, get him something to eat. He went up to the crib, ate it, fell asleep the whole night. And then I had to go to work the next day, and I'm like, bro, lock the door when you leave. And he got clean a little bit after that, man. Said, bro, you knew what I was doing or what I was into and things I do in the streets, and you trusted me in your crib, bro. He said he got clean after that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me just, doing what God intended me to do.
Right.
Which I believe, what I do now, man, and the ways I try to help people, man, is my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I put on this earth. And not only just, some of the friends I met, even with the kids, man, that's why I just get involved in so many things.
So that's twofold real quick. Right now, we want to give the audience a better lens of exactly the two things that I know of, and you can speak to even further than that. But right now, both at the counseling center.
Hey, before you get there, like me and Reed had a crossroad one time.
There we go. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad because I was just about to bring you in.
I'm in all that.
He's been around,
man.
He was the forerunner, but also now he's coming back. He came back. He spun the block. So Mike and Reed was living together for a little while.
Man, listen, man. Me and Mike got the same stories.
Right.
We went out in the street.
For sure.
Probably it's a whole bunch of things, but
right.
I never kicked with Mike. You know what I'm saying? He was the last person I went to see play a Pee Wee game because I knew that he liked me.
Yeah.
So I went and watched him play him with I think it was his name was Rack. Was you with Ramey?
Jeff was our quarterback.
Yeah.
That's when I was in the 4th grade.
Yeah. So me and Mike was cool. I knew the people that, he was getting involved with, they was plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to say nothing to Mike because I'm already out in the street. I'm gonna let him do what he do, but Mike start dibbling and dabbling, and we bump heads in the street to the point where, you know, when I see Mike, you know what I'm saying, it was like it wasn't about dope.
Mhm.
We was cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We are when you in the street doing dope, everybody is trying to get you, or come up off you, or something like that. That wasn't with me and Mike. Me and Mike was cool.
Right.
So, you know, me and Mike went in rehab when he was talking about him going down to rehab.
Mhm.
Me and Mike and Tip Mills was all in transitional living together, man. And that was a great experience too, being in there with them niggas. But you know, Mike's always been the gym to me. I can remember myself going back out, and when I went back out, I stayed out there for a minute, man. But I gotta always count on Mike.
Really back.
Yeah. Hey, come live with me. You know, Mike, that's the dude Mike was.
So there's a little funny
Me and Mike was
inside joke story. So Mr. You got sleep apnea or something?
Oh, man, come
got-
on, man.
Oh, he did.
No,
I'm telling
sleep
no,
apnea.
man. Come on, man.
Me
Go ahead and tell the story.
Bro, that ain't the
Me
story
and
for
Mike,
this, bro.
me and Mike, we lived together, and he, you know what I'm saying, we had already been living together at this one spot. He was up at Kent Street. We lived there together then. I messed up again, went back out there. Boom, he living up off of there, so he brought me in again, and I got the room. He gave me the room that I got to pass his bed. So I get to use the bathroom, and his door is cracked. So I'm walking by going to the bathroom, but you know, as I'm walking, you know, I'm just veering like, you know, that nigga, you know, I ain't heard from him. What he doing? And man, I seen him with a full mask on, a tank, helmet. I thought he should
I had no helmet on,
I didn't even know,
I
man.
had no helmet on, bro.
Listen, bro, I didn't even know nothing about none of that. Never heard of nothing till I seen him. I don't know nothing about nothing. So all I'm thinking is, what's wrong with that man in there? I don't know. You know, I'm like, man, what's wrong with you, man? He looked like he was finna blast off his face. Yeah.
He got his done
No,
fair.
didn't, bro.
Man.
Nah, this is what he said, bro. He walked by, and you know he loud. I'm asleep. He's like, Mike. He's like, why you got that vacuum hose? Why you got that vacuum hose hanging out of your bed like that, bro?
Yeah, man. I got big history with Mike, man, in the being out there messed up, and also, you know, being clean, because he one of my go-to, like you, bro. We talk on a regular.
Right.
He called me or I call him, but we always, you know, we together. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it got to be. It got to be that way, man. Now
You
you know
need
we
people in your
clean.
corner.
Yeah, man. You need him in your corner. He just one of them speed dialers.
So
I think I just kept it real with him, man. Like
Right.
when we was in treatment, man. Because the second time I came back, bro, I was serious, bro. I was serious about mom, and I was tired of going to jail. I was tired of putting myself in positions where people had to tell me what to do, bro. I
Right.
didn't like that. So why do I keep engaging in the things that sent me there? You know, so you know, I think we was in transitional. He was getting high.
Yeah.
He was getting high. I remember one time he came in super early. Like, bro, give me a shot, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, like, I see you getting high, bro. I'm trying to exercise everything in my mind to do the same without getting in trouble.
right.
But if I get high, bro, I'm going back to jail or it may kill me or whatever. I said, give me a shot. If that's what you want to do, go do it.
Right. So let's
Then I was like, I'm going to give you an option. I'm going to give you an option. You better go down there and tell Bill and them what's going on, or I'm going to tell them. I'm going to give you 2 days.
Yeah.
And he ended up telling them what's going on, bro.
Mhm.
And
Back
I think he
in.
went, yep. So, yeah, I'm going to give you 2 days, bro. Like, and I say that to say this, like with people in treatment, like sometimes, bro, you know you got that code, don't be a snitch, but sometimes you got to keep it real with your homies, bro, to get them over the hump.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? To get them over the hump, man. I'm not just
A lot of people
had to
don't
keep
see it
real
like
with
that.
Well,
Like, keep it real with 'em, bro.
a friend will tell you
Yeah.
what's real and what. It's no different than if you look in the mirror and you're not being real with yourself. But a friend, if my friend got lint on it, because I know you definitely you're gonna say something. But I'm just saying, it's few and far between. We got real people in our corners, but if you do got one, you better hold them close.
Yeah, believe it.
You better hold them close
It's hard to
because
come across now.
yeah,
Really,
it's
a true
priceless.
friend,
It's priceless.
somebody that you can count on.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
this is when we stay together. This is when I knew Reed wasn't doing good. Is when I don't see him.
Right.
All his clothes, medicine, everything at the crib,
Yeah.
and I don't see him. And then the next time I see him, he got the George Jefferson beard. Like, bro, can I use the trimmers right quick? Get myself, go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After he get us out for a couple of weeks, come up, like, bro, take some of that medicine with you. Don't be leaving it all here. You know you need that.
So where are you at now, Michael, in life in general? Just the grand scope of who is Michael Parker?
Well, go ahead, my fault.
Who is Michael Parker? In September 15th, 2025, you can speak in general, but also what do you feel like you've accomplished in life and accomplished with the well, just answer the question however you want to interpret it.
Well, you guys, who is, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm just a person, man, who made decisions in life, man, and decide to not continue to beat myself up over them, man. You know, try to use people who has had success in life and overcame some things and showed some perseverances over some tough times, man. Just lean on their coattail, you know, until I get to that point, you know. And not only that, man, I just decided to live life instead of exist in it. You know, dealing with a couple of accomplishments, man. I went back to school. You know, I started off at BG, but I went back and got my degree, man, and at Shawnee and graduated in 2018. And not only that, you know, I became the first person to get a master's degree in my immediate family, bro. You know,
all right.
You know, I got a master's degree in addictions counseling, man, and hell, I mean, well, my fault, bro. I didn't know. Go ahead and pray for me later, bro.
You're good. Go. Keep moving.
But,
keep moving. You good.
You know, not only that, man, you know, just staying at one company for so long, bro. Like, I've been at the counseling center for 20 years.
Wow.
You know, and held every kind of hat there is to hold it through that company. But now, you know, I think I'm where I need to be, and that's working with the youth, you know, with behavioral issues and some with substance abuse, you know, just to put myself in position to not only be that leader, but try to, you know, be a role model, man, or be a mentor to some of the kids that may not have that in their home, to help them get to the point of them not making the same mistakes as me, you know. And only with that, I got back into football in 2000. I stayed away from football a whole long time, man, because, you know, of the process that I was going through and how I was getting over my own demons. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I decided, you know, once I graduated college and got my bachelor's, that I'll get it back into the coaching, man. And been coaching football for 17 years. And I mean, for 7 years or eight, 2017, you know, and not only just coaching football, man, but just developing a relationship with kids, bro, you know, that will last a lifetime, man. And, you know, that's the joy, man, of, you know, just watching kids develop, man. And not only develop, they remember you once they go on. Mm-hmm. You know, I got a story about that, bro. I was just at Ironton. Mm-hmm. I went to watch Ironton play because my homeboy from Bowling Green, Saul Harrison, he came down and we went to watch his kid play. I'm in the line to get a slushie because it was hotter than fish grease like it is in this room. You know, and somebody tapped me, bro. And there was a player that I coached. I only coached him 1 year, and I was in travel. Right. You know, little Metcalf, man, up in Ironton, bro. He tapped me, Brady. Man. Yeah, one of the smartest, man. That kid, hey, Brady Metcalf, if y'all ain't heard of him, man, keep his name on your radar, because once he get up to high school, man, he's going to be something special to watch. Awesome. You know, really, really smart kid, man, knows the game, man, and just got a lot of polish to his game, bro. He's gonna be really good, man. But he tapped on me and gave me a hug.
Wow.
You know, and there's a kid I coached in Vinton County. You know what I'm saying? That I coached on a travel team. You know, Bryson Graham, man. You know, coaching him. He's from Vinton County, and coached him in the travel team. But he traveled an hour and a half. Him and a couple other his friends that I coached just to play with me at the Soldiers. You know what I'm saying? So he was there too. He tapped me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to focus on him because he grew, bro. He got taller, got a little mustache. And I'm like, I got no you. He was like, Bryson. I'm like, bro, you just routed up out of nowhere, you know. But, you know, just getting that acknowledgement, man, from kids that I had interaction with, bro, just show me that I'm doing something right. And not to toot my own horn, but, you know, just to get that acknowledgement, man, like, you know, kids that I don't see every day still remember me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I must be doing something right, man, because not only do I try to coach them, man, I just try to be their mentor, try to help them through their issues if they have any too. You know, so, you know, there's kids that come play for me from Lewis County that I go, you know, check on from time to time and watch them play, you know, and, you know, that's just, I don't know, man. It just feels good, man, to do what I do, man, and the kids still remember me for you know, the interaction they had, you know, with me. So that's the joy in coaching.
Right. So I think that's one of the things that anybody can attest to. Relationships. It puts you in spaces and places where you're able to be a sounding board for some people. You're able to be there for people, and people will remember when you was there for them at your low points. You're reflecting back on your life, and you remember people that was there for even when you was growing into the person that you ended up becoming. So memories is things that I believe God has given us, not for the bad things we remember, but I believe we should reflect on the good. You know, I think overall, Mike, your story is, like I said, inspirational, number one, but it's also it's a story of triumph.
And let me tap in another thing, man. Like, you know, I'm involved with Time Out for Me too, where Ms. Marsha is just doing a good job, man, and just bringing kids in, man, and just putting them in the position to learn some knowledge about different things about society, man, and giving them the space to come and be themselves and just be kids, man, and experience some things they may not ever get to experience, you know. And just being a part of that, man, for the last, I want to say 3 or 4 years, man, like, you know, this is the first time I ever went to the little Underground Railroad Museum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's teaching me too, man, and that was just something, man, that I really enjoyed, man. That she had took them to DC, which unfortunately I didn't get to make that trip because that was around the time, you know, my mom was going through her process and I had to be here. But, you know, I would probably get that opportunity later on down the line. But that's another thing that I'm involved in. And, you know, I want to thank Ms. Marsha for giving me the opportunity.
Shout out to Ms. Marsha. Respect.
Hey, so Michael, just a couple of things. First of all, thank you for coming to share your story.
Yeah.
Because I think it's very impactful to those who are listening,
right?
Especially young people who are maybe in a certain position right now, or maybe going to travel that road that you have traveled. But just what would you say to a young person right now who may be going off track right now? Like, what advice would you give them that you could have given yourself when you saw yourself maybe going off track, and something that you could give them to say, you know, this is decisions that I would have made that I wish I would have made, or what advice would you give them at this point?
Well, I think nowadays how kids are, man, I think you just got to be very transparent with them, you know. And let's say if a kid is you know, engaging in the weed or drinking or whatever, I'll just be very transparent. Like, what do you want? you want to live his life, or you want to be the get back into sports and get your life back on track? Like, what do you want? And depending on how that answers, you know, that's where I would go with the advice, Bob. Because at the end of the day, man, kids think they know more than
Yeah.
the elderly, bro. You can't tell them anything.
Right.
But sometimes, you got to put it in you got to put them in the position where they are answering questions about themselves, so they'll start to see. I
Right.
can tell them everything in the world not to
Good.
do,
Mhm.
but that goes in here, out here.
Right.
Sometimes they got to listen to themselves say it, man, which is
Great point.
just putting them in position and ask them what they want to like, then I can go from there. But if I was to give any advice, man, to anybody that's engaging in the lifestyle or whatever, man, like at the end of the day, bro, you may have seen that it happened in your own family. That you might have some family members who
Mhm.
struggle with addiction. You've seen what happened with them. You see people in the neighborhood that that is affected, man. You probably see some people that you hang around that is affected. Like the one thing we got to pay attention to is the evidence.
Mhm.
And evidence shows that drugs and alcohol is undefeated, whether it's from alcohol to weed to crack to heroin, whatever. That's undefeated, man. Ain't no future in that. And some of the movies you watch, ain't no future in that. So at the end of the day, man, like, what do you want to engage yourself in? Is this the life you want to live? Because there's people before you that show the end result.
Good point.
Or do you want to change? Now, if you want to change, now I got the blueprint for that. Reed may have the blueprint for that, or somebody around you got the blueprint for that. But at the end of the day, man, you got to be ready to listen.
Yes.
You got to be ready to listen.
True life.
Yeah.
True life.
Yeah. Because once you're ready and make that commitment within self that you want to change, now the teacher appears. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, man, it's a whole different way. You got to attack these little skinny jeans. You got to attack the skinny jean
Skinny jean
generation.
era.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would say and how I started. And go from
Great
there.
answer. And then I got one more thing. So Michael's my big cousin. You know what I mean? He's the
Right.
one that you look up to and you go, dude, that's my cousin out there.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right, right.
That's Michael. But Michael's also a giver. You know what I mean? He's a giver. And anybody knows, like anybody in our family, Michael's the barber in the family.
There we
Right?
go.
Yeah.
Michael's anybody, unfortunately, Michael could fade you up.
Yeah.
You can fade.
But anybody who's received a haircut from Michael Parker knows
Man.
it's a process.
It's a process for Mike.
It's a
Man.
process. So Mike is going to hook you up,
Yeah.
but when you get there, you got to wake him up, right? You got to wake Mike up, and then after you wake Mike up, Mike says, I got to get some jams going on. I got to get some Wu-Tang.
right.
I got to get some jams going
Bro, I
on.
gotta have
Yeah.
some cranks, bro.
And then after Mike gets the jams going on, he got to get something to eat. You know what I mean? I got to get something to eat. So your haircut might take 20 minutes, but it might take you 45 minutes to hours
Right.
to
Yeah.
get to the haircut.
Yeah.
Get
You know
there.
what I mean?
I feel you. No
You know-
doubt about it. I've seen it.
So,
I've lived with him and seen
but
it.
I'm in. I can say for myself, I'm in lifelong debt to Mike because he's always taking care of those people that's around him,
Right.
especially his like younger cousins and looking out for them. And so I can all say for myself, Michael's one of the big cousins like I always looked up to.
Right.
Yeah.
You see Michael out there doing big things, you like, that's my cousin. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that I'm proud of you sharing your story with us and the transition that you've made, and not only that, but just not giving up.
Yeah.
So I think there's a story in that is looking at your life and saying, you know what, you could have gave up, but you didn't give up, and now that's paying off, and how you're giving back to young people,
Yep.
and even the things that you've accomplished in that pursuit of transition and giving your life back, and the education and getting
Yeah.
degrees, and now coaching. So I just want to say hats off to you, and just thank you for being an example and an influence that others can look at to say that even though you make mistakes,
There you go.
you're not counted out.
Right. There you go.
That you can still get back up and still persevere.
Right.
And what I like to say is be relentless.
Mhm.
Like no matter what happens, no matter how many times you fail,
Right.
you
Get back
can
up.
still get back up. It's not
Bounce
over.
back. Yeah.
Like, so I appreciate you coming and sharing your story.
Right.
Yeah. And that's one thing I wanted to enter into, man. Like, even though, I've been through a lot and made a lot of accomplishments. I'm still human too, man. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but I just don't beat myself up over mistakes no more. Because one thing I learned over the process is life is about decisions. Everybody in this world make decisions, but the difference in some people can get up and dust their shoulders off from a bad decision they made.
Right.
To where at one point in my life, man, the bad decision I made, I had to go smoke some weed over it or do a pill over it, to where it led me to a place to where of self-destruction almost. So the thing is, man, if I can encourage anybody, just know that life is about decisions, man. And sometimes you got to make a decision for you and stand up on your own too. And the good thing about when you do that, there's people to help you if you want them to. There's people that help you get there, man. And there's programs that help you get there, man. And there's treatment centers that help you get there. I don't care which one you go to. Sometimes we got to be honest with ourselves and to know that, the decisions we're making is not a good decision. It's leading you to self-destruction. So, there's places out there, man. So, if you need to hit me up. There's a whole lot of people that you may know, hit them up, but, get to the point to where you live in life again instead of existing in it.
Respect. So Reed, I want you to, in your own way, you are one of the most gifted gabbers I've ever met in my life.
They said put Mike on the screen. I ain't even got me on the screen.
You was on the screen. You was on the screen. That's an old comment. That's an old comment. But Reed, what I want you to do,
get closer.
Get closer. Get closer.
Man, it's already hot, bro.
No, Mike. What I want you to do, Reed, is what do you see in Mike, man? What is it that you look at Mike and see, man?
A great leader. I got my son. I always tell him, look, just hold out. You be with Mike in a minute. I know Mike gonna give him some good instruction in that. And my son, when Mike talk, he's glued. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My son's the one that run up to Mike about something and ask him 1,000 times. You know what I'm saying? My son ain't real queen of listening to what I say. But when I see my son grabbing on to a person that I know is a great person, and I know he's gonna lead him in the right way, man, that's huge to me, man. But Mike is my go-to friend. You know what I'm saying? Look.
I know it.
Okay.
I know it.
But to keep it all 100, man. I got this to be real with you, man, is Fess, Brady Womack, Gerald, and Mike. Them is my speed dial. I'm glued. You know me. I'm hooked on phonics, man. And Mike, I don't miss too many calls, man. And I got the name on the call, so I know who's calling. But when I see Michael Parker on there, it's big to me. Right. He even took the time out to even call little old me, especially being in the positions that he put himself in. Now, you know what I'm saying? He put himself in some good positions. It's Jesus, man. God knows everything, man. He knows, you know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in that, man. But I've been screaming for Mike to be a part of, something big. You know what I'm saying? And, because I know his caliber.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, now that he's involved in a situation where, he can help kids, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm seeing how God puts things together.
Right.
Listen, he knows. God knows. Don't nobody gotta say nothing.
Right.
He'll take care of it. And that's what I'm seeing come to life with my friend is I'm getting, if God willing, I'm still around to see it. But I got Mike at being over there in that high school, running them drills, doing all that. And I know God knows, he knows Mike. Mike's a really good person, man. He just ain't, I ain't got nobody on speed down to that I know of, put it like that I know of. That's he's bona fide. He's a boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a boss, man, and it's good that for me, just for me, to be able to know and to acknowledge, to be able to see, because I'm not the world's best booker, but my communication skills is really, really fabulous. You know what I'm saying? I learned that in the street. My communication skills
You
are
can
good.
communicate with the best of them, boy.
But man, Mike's a boss.
Right.
Mike's a boss, man, and it's going to be a time we come in the Roots and Routes, because the Roots and Routes going to get big in this.
This ain't big enough.
Yeah, he's going to be on this wall. He's going to be on this wall.
Right.
And he's going to supposed to be on the wall because of the things that he's overcome and been able to do that most people that didn't do that. And he's one of the people that we can say, man, Michael Parker did just that. Yeah, we got to stick him on this wall, man. It's coming.
Hey, the grateful thing about that whole process is, man, like I never thought that I could live down some of the decisions I made. I thought I would always be recognized as a person who basically just didn't take advantage of his God-given talents. You know what I'm saying? A wasted talent, as they say. I always thought that I'd be recognized like that, bro. But the thing is, what I learned, bro, when you start making different choices and making different decisions in your life, people don't associate you with your past.
Right.
Yeah, they don't.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? Bill Shepard always told me, man, the biggest thing you have to do in your life is change the evidence of who you are in other people's eyes. At one point in time, as that person, I was that wasted talent, that person who just wasted his life away out there on the corner selling dope and getting hot. But then as I got clean, man, as time went on, bro, like things changed, man, like to where the people I got high with treated me like I was the cops. Oh, bro, don't want to disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, do what you do, bro. Just know when to get bad enough, you know where it's good at. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
Like, but that amazed me, man, because I never thought that could happen. And then just to add on this, bro, WSAZ came in here in the 14th Street Community Center and just made the coaching soldier staff hometown heroes.
Hometown heroes.
That's pretty cool.
Hometown heroes, bro. That blew me away.
Right.
That blew me away. Like like I told dude, man, on that interview, like, to come from where I come from, bro, and then be recognized as a hometown hero through your community, bro. Yeah. Like, man, I mean, hey, if I can do it, you can do it, man. That just blew me away, man. That the evidence did start to change, but. At the end of the day, man, again, man, I want to really, really, really reiterate that, anybody that's struggling through something, you don't have to be perfect in this game. It's progress, not perfection.
Right.
I'm not perfect, man. There's a lot of things that I need to pull up on in my life, and that's a lot of things I need to fix in my life. And there's a lot of different things that I need to do, man. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I just don't get high over the situation, bro. I just throw it to the side and keep on moving and try to fix what I need to fix.
Right.
So at the end of the day, man, like if I can be any help, that's the purpose of me even speaking on this thing today, just to try to reach out to people who may be struggling. But if I can be of any help, I shared the video. If we ain't friends, send me a friend's request. If you can't get me, get Roots and Routes.
Get the Roots and Routes. Hey.
I'm gonna say this, share your story. It takes courage to be transparent.
Right.
And I just thank you for being transparent. Because you didn't have to sit here and go through an interview and talk about your past and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But somebody's going to be blessed. Somebody's going to be impacted because of your story. So I just kudos to you for just coming in and sharing with us. Let you know that we appreciate it and that we are pulling for you.
Hey,
yes, sir.
Hey, another thing.
We're pulling for you.
Absolutely.
Like
It brings somebody else up.
Reed talking about getting into coaching and all that. Yeah, that's the goal. But at the end of the day, too, bro, if you, I just want to bring me in as that can bring me in as just a counselor toward players, bro, because I know there's some players dealing with some major,
Right.
behavioral health or
Better believe it.
some substance abuse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
With
they don't
with
know
the
nothing
generation
about.
these days.
Right.
And at the time, man, just with my sports background and dealing with sports and the thoughts that I had when I was going through the process, man, I could probably help them out, try to get that kid on the other side of the spectrum, man, and get them back on
Get
track.
too late.
Right.
So, if it ain't coaching, even if it's just that,
Right.
with the team, I'm cool with that. So the thing is, man, I'm just gonna still get up every day and put one foot in front of the other and just, continue to walk in the doors that's opening for me. So
Listen, man.
It's coming.
When we
I know.
when we started this podcast, Roots and Routes, it was one person that I can say that I had in mind. And again, this is the season finale of season 1, episode 22. We've done 21 of these. Now this is the 22nd. You're the 22nd. And September the 29th was a turning point in your life. You can look back on it 20 years ago, almost to the day. A man that persevered, a man that overcame, a man that looked in the mirror and didn't like the person that he saw, but he didn't harp on the things that hindered him and the pitfalls the decisions that he made. He recognized, like you said it already, one step at a time, progress, not perfection. So I appreciate you as well. There's nobody that I can think of a better person in terms of closing out this particular first season, man. It's been a ride. It's been a journey. You was here with us on the early go round.
yeah,
Right. So
had me fired up. I
So-
just cooled it.
So listen, we didn't even touch on a lot of things we could have touched on, but I appreciate the time that you set aside for us, man. We want to thank everybody out there that's followed us on this journey for the Roots and Routes. We got a lot more we're going to do, and we got a great big plan, a great big vision, but we want to tell people stories. One of the first things I always say on the opening line is, this is bigger than sports. All of us here at this table, we got a bigger purpose in life than just whatever it is our day job, quote unquote, is, whatever it is our, whatever it is we start with. It's bigger than us, man. So I commend Danny, Mike, Joe, most importantly, God himself. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I don't feel like we're here for such a time as this. So
Better believe it.
even if it's like you said, even if it's not coaching, I'm here to play the long game. I believe all of us here are recognizing the things that we've had to deal with in terms of just getting to a place where we feel like, look, we had a community that was great, that was thriving, that was very essential. Now we're the mentors. Now we're the elders. Now we're the ones that was before us. We had the Maureen Cadogas, the Reggie Robinsons, the different mentors, like you said, Mr. Archie Clark, Tommy Clark. We had different ones but now we're in position. And we got to carry this torch. Let's carry it well. I appreciate y'all, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Last word, Mike, is on you.
Huh?
You got the last word. You whatever you want to say. You want to give a shout out. You want to say appreciate anybody or whatever. If you don't want to give a shout out, you just think of just the floor is yours.
Well, you made it September 29th, man, and I can't mention September 29th without Mills, man, because that's his clean day too. That's my aunt's birthday, so September 9th, my aunt Terry. That September 29th is a big deal around my circle. But I ain't really got much to say, man. Like the only thing I got to say is just thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on and let let some people who may not have known about me or what happened, you know, basically what happened. You know what I'm saying? I didn't touch on a lot of it that I could. It got a little more thorough, but at the end of the day, man, I overcame some obstacles and got to the other end of the tunnel.
Right.
You know, with the help of others and first and foremost the help of God Almighty. You know, so again, I preached DA coming on, man. I wanted to get a couple others on.
Right.
You know,
we had the technical difficulty with doggone Tawan. I've been conversing with him the whole time, but it's all good. We'll be back like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Sometime maybe bring Smith down here, man.
Right.
But to tell you the truth, man, like he was the first one I really, really met, because we played in the North-South All-Star game together. So I really, really met Smith there, and then after that, we just became cool. I went to his house, then we ended up on a Bowling Green together. You know, yeah, he come down to Portsmouth, man. So he,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
One love,
and he became a Portsmouthian, you know, through his time. But
he did.
You know, shout out to Smith too, man. And it was just crazy, bro. How full circle everything came. Eric Starks is one of my main homeboys at BG. Ended up having 2 kids with Stephanie Battle. Like, small world is crazy.
Small world.
That he met in Columbus at Old State because he transferred from Old State. But, you know, again, man, I just appreciate Roots and Routes, man, for giving me the opportunity to come and share my story, let people know about Market Parker a little bit. And to end it, well, all right.
Well, all right. Hey, Roots and Routes, appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, follow us. We'll be back season 2.
Yeah.
Coming back. Thank you, Reed.
In the words of Julius Hammer, well, all right.
Well, all right. That's where that comes from. All right, we out of here. And good night. God bless and good night. We're still live. Don't do it yet. Don't do it.